Ladies and gentlemen, how are we all doing today? Welcome to the first episode
Hope we get a Nintendo
of the POKEMANIACS podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first episode, and joining me today will be freaking lovely lads, all right? We've got three lovely lads, starting off with Camtendo, my man. How are you doing today?
Yo, what's up, everybody?
And then, second in command, we've got SoulSilverArt.
Yo, guys, what's up?
And, of course, you guys already know me. Don't need to fucking know about that. Finishing it off with the man, the myth, the legend, Dusty Go-Goat.
What's up, everyone? It's Dusty Go-Goat. How's everyone doing?
The boys are, of course, here. We're going to be taking a look at a few different things, and I think our boy SoulSilver here, you have a list of all the topics we've got to talk about, because there is quite a bit that has popped up in the last few hours, you could say. Like, a lot of craziness that is just insane.
Breaking news.
Yes, breaking news. There's been breaking news. Yes, indeed. So I thought we'd take a look at it. I just, I'll be just kind of going throughout everything slowly, one step at a time. But do we want to start from the latest information, or do we want to go from the list we have so far? Because there is a lot of stuff to talk about. There's literally actually too much, and I feel like we won't even have enough time because we only have about an hour or two to do this. But I thought we'd do we start from the top of that list that you had, SoulSilver, or do we just kind of perhaps just go straight to the most recent information? Because the most recent stuff from Ku is pretty crazy. So what do you guys think? What do you guys prefer?
I'd like a breakdown. I've been working all morning, so I need someone to explain this to me. I'm either going to read Soul's tweets, or you could just tell me right now.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's see. So, SoulSilver, like, my man, I think we could start then from you. You can explain to us, because there is basically, we have like a few different things, and I think Soul literally just got knocked out there. There he is. But we got so this is the list of things we have to talk about, right? So we have Detective Pikachu 2, which is a weird subject because none of us really know what the deal is with that game. And with the recent logo that showed up, if you guys don't know this, there was a Pokemon Mysteries logo that showed up, and nobody's been able to disprove it. It looks genuinely realistic. That was the first thing. Then we have possibly Eclipse. If you guys do not know Eclipse, the people are watching right now, if you do not know who Eclipse is, he is a sort of Riddler, almost, you could say, a strange guy. He sometimes leaks information, sometimes not. He's a very 50-50 type of guy. You can't always trust everything he says, but he does come with some valuable information once in a blue moon. So
yeah, he's a trickster.
Exactly. But he did come with some interesting information, possibly confirming some details about the actual gimmick, so the new feature that's going to be in Scarlet and Violet, akin to Mega Evolution or Dynamaxing or Z-Moves, right? So he's got that. Then we also have just generally, when is the trailer dropping? People expected it to be announced today, that we're going to get one tomorrow. It didn't happen, and I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect it to happen. I was pretty much sure that it's going to happen in the second week of June, and that's what I personally think, but we're going to talk about that further later. And then we also have the Gen 9 Pokedex image that is on Ku's desktop. That one is still a little bit strange, and I wonder when we'll see that, if that's going to be part of the June kind of riddles and all that. And
that one feels so juicy. I feel like there's so much there.
There is a lot. And then, of course, we also have the Hisui anime that's dropped, and I don't really know if there's anything there in terms of rumors, but it's just just going to talk about our thoughts on that as well. And then, of course, the most recent thing that happened, the most explosive one, is currently Ku basically confirmed, and not just Ku, but Pokemon Masters, the game, actually confirmed his riddles. And I think we should maybe start from there. So, SoulSilver, do you want to take us along the journey there and tell us what the deal is? Because I could pretty much get the image up here on the screen for them to take a look at, because you already kind of tweeted about this and put this out there. But I thought maybe you can kind of give us an introduction into what the deal is, like what's going on. Because Ku has been for a while now sort of hinting at these kind of legendaries that we're going to be getting for Scarlet and Violet, and all that, and with the games being called the code name of the games being Titan and all that, he's been hinting at what they're going to be with Dragon Electric and Dragon Fighting. But now it seems like or vice versa, but either way, now it actually seems like it's been properly confirmed in some way or shape. So SoulSilver, can you kind of give us a bit of details on that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good place to start for sure, because it's the craziest news.
Yeah, it is nuts. It is nuts. I literally saw it and I was like, why is this happening now? It's just such a weird timing for this to be happening.
Yeah, so I'll start from there, actually, because first of all, it's one of the last tweets on that thread, is that he said that he would start talking about this stuff when we got closer to a trailer, which I don't think that that's the case here, but just right off the bat, you like think, oh, he's tweeting again, but it's not June yet, and he said he would be tweeting again in June. So you're like, what's going on? But anyway,
weird.
Yeah. Anyway, with the actual breakdown of it, I guess I would say, basically, in his master's riddle, the big, gigantic, crazy one that people have seen, that was like the main thing. The main theme was these legendaries and their typings, and so he today he just said, you know what, I'm just gonna say it.
Dude, they got leaked.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, he literally he came out with it, because here is the image, and I put it on the screen for anybody who hasn't seen it. I don't know if Cam, have you seen it?
I seen it. Yeah. I was freaking out about it when I saw it.
And Dusty, have you seen it as well? Because I'll put it on the stream as well in case you want to see which one we're referring to.
Yeah, I've got it up right now.
All right, so for anybody who doesn't know what it says, he basically put out, by the way, they are leaking Titan boxes. Now, just explanation here. Titan, I think, is the code name for Scarlet and Violet. That's just the code name used by the development team and such like that. And he's saying they leaked the Titan boxes. And boxes would be the box arts, a.k.a. the Pokemon that will be on the actual box art of these games, a.k.a. the legendaries. And what's interesting is he's already been hinting this. And if we actually go down in the tweet replies here, there is somebody that actually replied to you, SoulSilver, who basically just like linked the Uncle leak. And included like the highlighted part where it says that the mascot legendaries for Scarlet and Violet would be Dragon Fighting and Dragon Electric. And if you look at this image, for anybody who doesn't get what's going on here, you have two Pokemon. One, which is Dragon Fighting, and another, which is, motherfucking, Dragon Electric. You know what I mean? So my point is, my point is, he's already like literally, it's being literally now even like hinted through Pokemon Masters, and he already gave us this information through Pokemon Masters prior. So my point is, for anybody who doesn't get it, they basically are hinting through another game what's going to be in Scarlet and Violet, and this is not something that they don't usually. They've done this before. I mean, if you guys remember this, I don't know about you guys. You guys here, but do you guys remember Meltan back in the day? How that Pokemon came about? Because Meltan was a weird Pokemon. That was in Pokemon Go, right? That was the first time.
People were denying that it was even like a real Pokemon.
Dude, yeah. People literally didn't think. Dude, nobody thought it was real.
Like, it's an evolution of Ditto. That's what people were saying.
It looked really ugly.
Well, it was cute at the end, though. But
I liked it at the end.
Yeah, but like that's the thing, though. People didn't believe Meltan was real. People thought Meltan was not real, and the weirdest part was because people also couldn't believe why in the world, would they include a Pokemon like this, and reveal it for the first time in Pokemon Go, because that's how that Pokemon was revealed. It was revealed through data that was sent between the servers that was like basically just hijacked by data miners. Information was being sent between the servers and the game and shit. And they hijacked that info, but actually I think they intentionally put that out. That was one of those few times where I think they intentionally leaked that just to get like a ruse going, or so to say. And that's one of the few times where one of the side games actually is the one to introduce a brand new Pokemon. It's one of the few times. But yeah, what are you saying, Dusty?
I feel like the whole purpose with Meltan being released on Pokemon Go was to essentially Pokemon Go was at its height. What was that? I don't even know what year that was, but like it was at its height, and I think a lot of people looked at Pokemon Go as like a second. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I think a lot of people were like looking at Pokemon Go as like a secondary, not main series, and I think what they wanted to do is like basically, just like cement Pokemon Go as like a legitimate Pokemon game. I mean, it's the one that makes them the most money. Yeah, and it's like it I kind of get that. It's undeniable at this point.
But also, you got to remember that Meltan made a lot of sense because the next game that was being made at the time was Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, which were literally trying to take the Pokemon Go formula and implement that into, something else in this case, which, is literally what they were trying to do, right? They were trying to take the Pokemon Go style that they used for Pokemon Go, but implement that into something else. Which, I mean, that's kind of what we ended up getting, right? That's essentially what, Let's Go was. It was their attempt to try to put like the Pokemon Go style into a mainline game. And what's the best way to do an overlap? Literally introduce a brand new Pokemon through Pokemon Go.
Have they ever done that in another
No,
spin-off
well,
game?
they have. They technically, I think they technically have, but not in the same way. It's more that they've like sort of, I guess yes.
Yeah,
no.
like there's Shadow Lugia, but you can't. That's not like a real
Yeah,
thing.
but I don't know. I think
not a brand new Pokemon.
No. But they have hinted it through like other sorts of stuff. Like I think Pokemon like Munchlax or something. I think Munchlax or something had a weird thing when that was like. I think it was hinted. It was hinted. Yeah, it was hinted through like another game. But I don't think they like. I don't think they actually ever directly put a whole new, like a brand new Pokemon within it. I don't think so. But I don't know. It's a weird one. Also, somebody's asking for face reveal for Soul Silver, by the way.
Tell them it's coming.
It's coming.
No,
it's coming. It's gonna happen, boys. Don't you worry about it. But okay, so
you gotta sign up for his Patreon.
Oh my lord. So
it's a good idea.
So what do we have here? I'm kind of curious though. What do we have here then? So basically, is this then a confirmation, almost official confirmation now that yes, these legendaries are going to be that?
For me, it definitely is. I mean, before I was only on the fence a little bit because I was thinking maybe it could be one legendary that has, because we get into the whole gimmick talk, right?
Yeah.
But it has one legendary that has those two typings, because in the actual like Masters riddle, it only has dragon and fighting and electric next to it. It doesn't say like dragon, electric, dragon, fighting. It's just it's just that. So I was like, maybe it's just one that has both those typings. But this further confirms it, because the funny thing about this is exactly what Ku was riddling in his Masters one. He was talking about Cynthia and Como, even though they weren't in that picture. It was just Cynthia and Garchomp. So it's very on the nose, like, and it's crazy that I mean, to me, it's just a coincidence, but it's crazy that they literally did the exact same thing as him.
Yeah, that is the nuts part. And for anybody not believing that they would do something like this, let me remind you, this is the same company that made us sit for 24 hours looking at a forest just to see a singular goddamn horse be revealed. They
I was on that stream with you.
Yeah, that was torture.
Dude, that stream gave me PTSD. So my point is, they will do some weird stuff, okay? Also, by the way, people seem to like your voice, Soul. So, hey, man, there you go. They do. He was worried. He was really worried about talking and whatnot. But I think you're doing amazing, man. I think you're doing great.
Yo, Soul's got a very smooth voice.
Exactly.
Thanks so much. I'm actually a singer.
Oh shit!
No way.
Damn.
Whoa,
I'm not singing
really?
anything.
Damn, look at that, dude.
I am. Yeah.
All right. Well, so
Anyway.
I'm kind of curious though. So Cam, what do you think about all this? Because like I already know, Soul, like you've already done your tweets. Dusty, you've been out of the loop, but I feel like you kind of caught on. But Cam, you're like the one who, like, you literally said in chat, because we have a group chat here with the boys, and you were kind of freaking out, like, holy shit, like, what's going on? So what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Because I'm just kind of curious where your mindset's going on this whole thing.
I'm just,
reveal.
This entire thing has me extremely excited, because just like Soul Silver, I theorize, but I don't do it as like much as he does. And I really appreciate him for going so in depth. But seeing this, because paying attention to the Uncle Leak and stuff, I'm really kind of curious, because I don't know if the Uncle Leak came before or after Ku, but the whole electric dragon fighting dragon thing has me so excited, because I love dragon legendaries like Black and White and Diamond and Pearl. I love those. And just when I first heard these, I was glued to it, because I was like, holy crap, we're going back to first we got color, we're back to color games, then we got dragon mascots on top of that. The entire thing is just wild. And seeing Ku just straight out, because he loves his riddles, but he doesn't really reveal things until it's been officially revealed. So for him to come out and look at this like tweet and just say, by the way, they're leaking the box legendaries, that's crazy to me, because I don't know if we're just that close for a reveal, or if he's just like, they just went out and did it. But I'm just like extremely excited, and it makes me want to go back to the Uncle Leak and just analyze that and see what else was featured in that, because if this is true, there's no telling what else in that leak is true as well, like the starter typings and the the story leaks and stuff, and I think they talked about the gimmick too. So that leak is starting to gain a lot of credibility, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
I would love to take a look at that. I know Soul Silver had said like that's kind of a compilation of a lot of different rumors and sources. So I mean, I don't know how much. I don't know if it confirms 100% that the Uncle leak is accurate, but it definitely would be a lot of fun to take a look at that.
By the way, a certain someone just joined that chat. A certain Eclipse is now in our chat.
Eclipse just joined.
Ciao, amigo.
He's asking.
Wow.
He's saying, "I think I opened the wrong video. Is this ASMR?" It may or may not be. Soul Silver does have a very smooth voice, but I don't know. Like, I do think though that. Because let's be realistic here, okay? Eclipse. Oh, sorry, no Eclipse. Well, Eclipse, we're gonna talk about you too, mate. You're on the chopping block, okay? We got some stuff. Nobody's
we're not holding back on that
exactly.
One,
but first of all, we have to talk about Ku. So we already know Ku has been correct in the past, right? Now I don't know where Ku gets his info. If it's like information that he receives directly or if he's regurgitating other info, it doesn't matter. But what we do know is that when he does put stuff out, he does it does hold value, right? Like when he gives us information, that information usually should be taken a look at because it does hold some water, right? And he last year, as you guys may know, those who are watching and those who do not know, if you're watching this post stream, whatever, he last year leaked or riddled a bunch of information, which ended up being legitimate. A bunch of the regional variants, he riddled those for us and gave us that information. Stuff about BDSP as well. I think he gave us info about Ramanas Park. I could be wrong. I think he brought that up.
He did.
And even the Ponita, the shiny Ponita quest that you can do in Legends Arceus, even that he gave us as like a riddle, which nobody understood it, but then we got it and we were like, that's what you were talking about? What the hell? And then Eclipse is using Runaway right now, freaking out. But we already know this guy's legitimate. And based on like just the fact that he has that credibility, I think that we can look at what he says here, and if we correlate that to what we saw from the Uncle leak, which by the way, I still don't know where that one is from. Because I just know that one showed up as a document, like a Google Doc, and that's it. Like, Soul, like, do you, like, where is that one from?
I can give you a whole bunch of background on that.
Yeah, please do, because I literally do not know. Like, do you guys, wait, Cam and Dustin, you guys know where it's from? Because I don't.
No. Someone I know in my circle just, like, tweeted it, and then I was like,
same for me. I wasn't sure where it came from, but since it came, like, from people I trust, I was like, okay, well, this is definitely worth looking at then. But where is it actually from, Soul? Like, where is it from?
So
I don't know.
So as far as I know, like I don't have like sources that are just like, yeah, this is exactly it. But just from what I've heard and just how it happened, it started basically as the person who originally leaked, let's say, Enamorous from the Chinese like social media Baidu, right?
Yeah.
That was it.
So like that's where it originally came from. To answer Cam's question, it was after Ku's riddles. Okay, so Ku's riddles were on April 1st.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it did happen in the Chinese community like a couple days after that. So I don't know if they got all that information at one point, like these people, because they're separate people. I think. I don't think it's Ku doing both. Yeah, so they're separate people, and they must have got all this information at some point. But I don't know if that person is just piggybacking off of a lot of Ku's things or things that they've heard. But anyway, the background is basically that, it's from there, and then somebody took it and translated it for us. So the translation is what it is. It's not even accurate in a lot of ways.
Okay.
So there's a few things with it.
So we aren't like, so we can't really look at it as 100% like.
I'm not personally.
But wait.
Yeah.
Did it come out like, because there is one thing within that Uncle leak, which I'm curious about. Did the information in there about like the regional variants, did that come out before or after Ku put out his regional variant info? Like whenever he did that, like which came first?
That was before. But like literally Tauros, like anyone could guess Tauros.
Yeah, true.
Like
true.
Tauros was coming a mile away.
That is true. That is very true.
It's like you said in one of your videos, Ruffled. You said, Tauros as a legendary is like kind of a joke. Like they wouldn't do something so on the nose as that. Yeah. But they still had to do a bowl. So
yeah, that's true. because
regional form.
That's one thing that everybody should know, by the way, is that they will never do a legendary based on actual mythology from the country they're basing it on. Like, if you look at, I always use this as an example. If you look at Kalos,
that's interesting.
Kalos doesn't have legendaries based on, like, French mythology or anything like that. They have legendaries based on Norse mythology. Right? Yeah, exactly. On like Yggdrasil and like the World Tree, whatever you want to call it, with like like what is it? I think the what do you call it? Yveltal is like the eagle on the top, right? Like looking over everything. The
deer and the snake.
Yeah, Zygarde is a snake at the bottom, and then the deer in the middle is Xerneas or whatever. So my point is that they will almost never, okay, just keep that in mind. They will never, like never, ever use the actual mythology from the location whatsoever. So yeah, but also
I would never say never. But
Eclipse said something in chat though. Eclipse said something. It said the uncle is a leaker from the past. It's from China, so it's common that no one ever knew about it. Tends to delete a lot of its posts after a few hours. So consider all this. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It's very true. They deleted it too, so we have no like evidence that it existed or anything like that. But like he said, it is common, and yeah, everything he said about that is definitely
that
true.
Is fair. That is fair. But that's the thing, though, also, with the Chinese leaks, is oftentimes they are correct. Like, I feel like most of the times when we gotten stuff from there, because, I don't know, their mentality about everything, just their mentality and how they do things, is much different from, like, the rest of, like, the world. Like, they are a little bit different from the rest of us, right? Like, the way we approach rumors, leaks, all this stuff is a bit different the way than they approach it, I feel like. Like, just the way they do it and everything like that. I almost feel like they're a little bit more aggressive in a way, almost. Like, just based on the stuff I've heard from, like, people that, like, are actually within that community that have told me privately, it is a bit, like, a bit more hardcore. Let's just say it like that. It's a bit more
competitive.
Intense. Yes, it's way more intense. So they definitely value being correct. So if one of them is correct, that person within their community there gains, like, more clout than we can ever imagine, all right? they just, like, they're just very important to everybody there. So I feel like when they do put info out and they then delete it, I feel like you should pay attention to it, even if it can be a 50-50 gamble, because you never know. It could always be a troll. People just love putting out, bullshit. That's just, that's just how the internet works.
There's plenty of that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, just look at my fucking search history on 4chan, bro, for, like, fucking rumors. It's a mountain of them. But let's see. Either way, this guy doesn't know what. Okay, what is Wawa, by the way? What the fuck does everybody keep telling me? What is Wawa? I keep hearing this shit.
Explain Wawa.
It's like 7-Eleven, right?
What is Wawa? I have no idea. Like what is Wawa?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, you don't know either. It's just a gas station.
But
it's
like,
literally a gas station with a restaurant kind of thing in it. Like, not even a restaurant. It's like you can buy, like, sandwiches that are pre-made, and it's, like, really decent. So it's not like just a typical trashy kind of gas station where you get, like, frozen sandwiches. It's, like, kind of nice.
I think I've been to one of these before.
But, like, why do people, people kept, like, complaining, and, like, people, like, were literally, I think some guy directly messaged me even, was like, how do you not know what Wawa is? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, what the fuck? Like,
international.
I was like, is he talking about water? Like, what is he on about? Like, I don't get it. Like, what the fuck is Wawa? Like, what is it? Because I live in Europe, bro. Like, this is not American. I don't know. I mean,
the whole thing.
The
whole thing was such a joke.
I'm in Europe, all right, so I don't know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
But
Eclipse commented something.
Yes, he says, also proven that the uncle and Ku are in contact, some kind of contact, online friends, random silly pals that interact once in a while. I even doubt at first they were the same person. Ooh, interesting, Eclipse. That shit is American? Yeah, it definitely has got to be, because I've never heard of it, dude. I've never heard
American.
of it, bro. Like, I've never heard of it. But interesting.
Yeah, he said,
so I wouldn't be surprised if
you. Definitely interesting.
I do think they are in contact. That's for a fact. I do think they are in contact, like, in one way or another.
He could be the uncle could be the Chinese Riddler. So there's like the Chinese Riddler is the guy that was before Ku, and people have thought that he was the same person. Actually, like, we don't know for sure. We don't know for sure.
You guys remember Ball Guy?
Yeah.
That's
you guys remember Ball Guy?
Oh, he just
Clip
posted
and
the second
ball guy.
part of his comment.
All right. Oh, wait. Let's see. So, but with the time passing by, I think it's not the case. Oh, by the way, thank you, Anna, so much for the $5. We're gonna read that donation in a second. Let's see. But with time passing by, I think it's not the case. They just seem to talk, and the uncle is giving some sort of news to Ku as well. Ku mainly has a source. Mainly have its sources besides the uncle. You figure. Okay. Gotcha. Also, Anna, thank you so much. And Devin Knox, thank you for $5. Just going to see what the donations say, lads, real quick. Pokemon channel promoting Eevee means new evolution. Could Evos swap types to opposite physical ones? 9 new Evos, possibly Dragon, Vaporeon. This is actually interesting because there is this artist called Barbie Elite, who actually made these like IDs of like, what if you had like a Vaporeon, but it was electric type, or what if you had like what do you call it? What if you had like
swap to the physical variation?
Exactly.
So instead of water, it's rock. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was thinking about it. I was like, that is insane if they actually were to do something like that. And everybody's been messaging me about this today, mentioning like, hey, have you seen all the Eevee promo? Even like Devin here says, have you guys seen all the evolution hype from Pokemon UK? It is weird because if you think about it, okay, the last time we had a new evolution was what? Like Generation 6.
2013.
Exactly. Logically speaking, if we were going on the track on like the following the pattern that they did at some point follow, we should have had one. Ball guy is ballin'. He sure is, dude. But if we're following that track record, shouldn't we have gotten an evolution in Generation 8? We didn't though. But as we already pointed out in our previous stream, do you guys remember what we said? Eevee got a Gigantamax form.
Oh yeah.
Eevee got a Gigantamax form. So
and they got a Z move too.
That's true.
And they got its own video game.
So that's true as well. Very big deal. So is it possible, right? You guys know about Statoil? Yeah, I do know Statoil. That's in Europe. I think they have that here as well. But either way, so I'm just thinking about that. They already like did those things. Is it maybe time now to finally do a new evolution? Because like because the new feature is clearly got something to do with typing, right? How in the world can you have Eevee and not like, involve some sort of type switcheroo, with it, considering we're going to have a whole generation where the main gimmick is going to have something to do with type swapping of sorts. At least that's based on what we're seeing from the riddles and the rumors and all that sort of stuff, right? So
okay, so these wouldn't be like permanent forms. These would be battle forms or whatever the
I would assume so, but
gimmick would be.
But it doesn't have to be exactly that. You can even like argue that they could make a regional form of like a Vaporeon, which I know sounds ridiculous, but it could literally do that and just be like, oh hey, you know what we did right now? Well, we made it a dual type. Haha, it now has water and rock typing for whatever reason. I'm not saying that that's gonna happen, but like, would it really be that far-fetched, like, to assume that they could go down like this crazy-ass path with it? I mean, I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on the evolutions? Let's start from Dusty. What do you think about the possibility of evolutions? And then we'll go from Cam to Soul. So, Dusty, what do you think about evolution specifically?
I think there is always a possibility that we're going to get a new evolution. I don't think there's any reason. Like, a new evolution is a net positive. You lose nothing. You gain a bunch of new sales. Like, you get a bunch of new hype. It's not like releasing a fossil or releasing a new rodent regional form. Like it's a win-win all over. And I do think that they don't want to drop all of the new evolutions. Like they're not going to do every single type, right? I don't think they want to rush through them. I'm pretty sure Pokemon being 25 years old is expecting, like they're saying, okay, if we last 100 years, how many more types do we have, right? If we release a new type every 10 years, if we release a new evolution every 2 or 3, or not 2 or 3 years, but let's say every 2 or 3 generations, right? Like I think they have a roadmap for the evolutions, and they're going to want to release those. I personally would not mind if the existing evolutions get a new type, or like a new form with a new type. That doesn't bother me. But if we're talking about regional forms, I do not want Eevee or the evolutions to have anything to do with regional forms.
No, they don't need to, but...
I would prefer just like, if you're going to give it, like, I don't want rock Vaporeon. I mean, that's cool for a battle gimmick, but just give me a rock evolution right out, right? We don't need to make that more complicated.
That's true. But they do like making things complicated, don't they?
They do.
So, okay, so that's your...
What do you guys think?
View at it. But yeah, I'm thinking, Cam, what are your thoughts on it? Like, what do you think? Like, will we get an evolution in your opinion? And secondhand, do you want it, or in what form would you want it?
Personally, I'm with Dusty on, like, a new evolution is kind of it's way past due because we all believe we're going to get it every even number generation, and they skip Gen 8 and now we're in Gen 9. So I feel like we are past due time for a new evolution. I feel like we're going to get one this generation. You guys can quote me on this. I actually feel like we will. Personally, what type I would want it to be.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, all right, you can do that. But like personally, I don't really care as long as we get one, because like I said, like Dusty said, Pokemon Company, this won't just affect video games. This will affect like sales. This will affect the anime, plushes, cards, things like that. Like, plus people love Eevee. We've seen this so much that there's a whole game based around it. It has like ever since Gen 7, it's gotten the 2 gimmicks. It's gotten a Z move and a G Max, and for all we know, it and Pikachu may also get the new gimmick, whatever it is, if it gets like a new form or something. Personally, I think we do get one. I think we will get one, because people, like they said, if you want to hype up an audience past new generation, introduce new evolution. Did you not remember how crazy people went when we saw Sylveon for the first time?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't even know what type it was. I think we were making up like light type and stuff like that at the time, because I think it was it was either when Xerneas was revealed or when Sylveon was revealed. Either way, we were losing it. And like Generation 7 and 8, especially Generation 8, we thought we were expecting it, but we never got it. I think it's past due, and if they want to make the crowd go absolutely wild, because this is a new generation, and like if it were a remake or something, we'll be hype, but not as hype as we are now.
True.
Now we're in a new generation. This is a new playing field, and it's the perfect time. Yeah, it's Eevee at that.
I feel like they positioned it as a new mascot, a counterpart.
They did. That's the whole point of Let's Go.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of Let's Go Eevee, right? That was the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Into a proper mascot. They even have a whole Twitter account all about it.
That's true. Yeah.
And there is an there's an interesting point real quick from the Tenkachi dude in the chat who says Chloe, or Koharu, which is the female character in the anime, who actually uses, let me keep killing it. Yo, what's good, Self? How you doing, buddy? What's up, man? Hope you're doing well, mate. I saw you had that storm the other day. Hope you're doing well, man. Thank you for the support. But Chloe, or Koharu, like the female character, actually has an Eevee in the anime, but it hasn't evolved yet, and it feels like they nonstop keep hinting at it. They keep pointing or poking at that idea of it, right? Nonstop. All the fucking time, right? So everybody's been thinking maybe like the reason they haven't evolved that Eevee yet, and they keep dragging that out, would be, well, for the reason that they're going to introduce the brand new evolution alongside it. And I don't know, like, what that evolution type could be. I don't know, because if they're introducing a new typing as a whole, which I don't think is going to happen with these games, then that would be the typing they're going to give to this evolution. But if not, then I don't really know which one they're going to pick. Dragon typing, maybe? I don't know.
I'm curious, Kim. You said something that made me think about like how hype was it for people when Diamond and Pearl came out and we got Glaceon and Leafeon. Because I was too young to really, I wasn't on the internet, you know?
Me neither, but I can imagine people are excited because, let's face it, no matter what Pokemon it is, whenever an old Pokemon from a previous generation comes back with a new form or evolution, people are going to lose it regardless.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I mean,
and
like, Eevee is a guaranteed surefire way to make money, because it is a Pokemon that literally has, like, if you don't like base Eevee, you can like Vaporeon. If you don't like Vaporeon, you can like Jolteon. If you don't like Jolteon, you basically have so many options with it that it's impossible to not love it. And Crimson7, thank you for the $20 donation, dude. Thank you so much, man. Oh my lord, dude. Thank you, man.
Awesome.
I want to know what you all think. If Gen 1 and Gen 5 have 3 remakes, should we expect a third remake? Third remakes, but different game types like Let's Go and Legends. So I'm guessing you're referring to, like, since Generation 1 had, Fire Red, Leaf Green, and of course, Let's Go Beach, Let's Go Eevee, whatever. If they're going to do another one, and Generation 5, I guess, if they're going to do it.
If Gen 1 and 5 have 3
have
remakes,
like the base form
and
Black and White, then you have Black 2 White too.
Exactly, and like Legends and all that. I don't know if they're gonna do. First of all, Crimson, by the way, dude, thank you so much for the $20, man. Really appreciate it. But as for what they're gonna do, how they're gonna do it, I don't know if they're gonna, because the whole thing with Let's Go is, I don't think they're gonna revisit Let's Go, at least not in the way that they did this time. Okay, I don't think they're gonna revisit it in the same way. I think it's gonna be different how they approach it. But as for Legends, I think down the line, I don't think we'll see a Legends Kanto game, but I do think we might see another Legends game, maybe based on, like, I don't know,
Look, Johto's next.
Yeah, Johto.
I'll die on that hill.
Johto or something like that. I think
too.
Johto does make the most sense. Yeah, I think actually, this is something I predicted last year. I already said this, but I think that next year, if they don't do DLC, what they're gonna do instead, which might sound crazy, and you might think I'm fucking insane for saying this, but I think that they're gonna do a Let's Go type remake game, not Let's Go, but just a remake type game, right? For Pokemon like Gold, Silver. So not like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, because they will never do that. They will never remake a remake, because if they do that, then they owe us all the extra features in there. Instead, they're going to remake Gold and Silver because it's easier, and it's an easier way to do it. This is for Soul Silver. Yo, NBC, thank you, my man.
This is
Thank you.
Silver.
Holy shit, dude. But they're never going to remake Heart Gold, Soul Silver, right? They're never going to do that. But they're going to do Gold and Silver. And then what I'm thinking is they're going to do the same thing they did with BDSP and Legends. They're going to release them close to each other, just like they did now, because they have proof. BDSP sold fucking 15 million copies, okay?
I know.
That's a
That was together.
lot of fucking money. That's so much. So many sales. That's a lot.
Shoot.
And Legends also sold a buttload of fucking copies, okay? Both those games were released, what, a month and a half between each other? That's like nothing. There's no distance there. There's literally like back-to-back releases. And what, like a month later after Legends is released, they announced the next generation. My point is, I think if there is no DLC for Scarlet Violet announced next year, I think we're getting that announced instead. I think we're getting those two announced, and they're going to do Johto remakes. And then we're going to go past Johto remakes and Legends or whatever. It'll take a while, but they'll do some other shit. I think DLC is going to happen most likely next year. But after like they've done the Let's Go Johto, or whatever you want to call it, the BDSP version of Johto and the Legends version of Johto, then they're going to do Generation 10, and then we're going to get like the proper Gen 5 remakes. But I don't know if we're going to get Legends based in, what do you call it? In Unova, though.
Unova?
Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, go on. What are you saying?
There's a lot to talk about with this.
Yeah, there's
like
a shit ton.
Crazy can of worms. It's like I think the DLC for sure is happening next year. I've heard some things already, just like DLC.
I'm actually seeing something interesting from Eclipse. I think it's worth to take a look at. Because
that's I was going to bring that up.
He posted 2 times here. I've been trying to keep it on the screen so I can remember it, but he started with this, saying, remember that Japanese Twitter user who created the collage of all the Hisuian forums and the 3 genies that got retweeted by Ku in the past? I do remember that one. I don't know about you guys. Do you remember that one? Because it was like this big collage the guy put together. And he says, that user, I think it's Ku, since he can talk Chinese/Japanese, which is random, he says. And then the other point he made is sound type, as by now, makes more sense to exist than light type. I'm curious to hear your opinions. I do agree. Sound typing makes more sense than light typing. Light typing is light typing already kind of exists as a fairy type, right? So that's
they both kind of are ready. They're both ready, but there's more sound type Pokemon, let's say.
Yeah, that fits.
I don't understand light type at all. For me, light type's either brightness, which is electricity, or electric type. It's either like good type as a reverse to dark type. But like have that with, but I feel like that's fighting type. Fighting type is like the justice type, right?
Yeah,
it is.
It
it's
is.
like or you could say it's like fluffy, and that's like fairy, right? Like it's like magic.
Yeah.
So
kind of.
I don't see it at all.
You see, you know that I love Ultra Necrozma, right? So just think about that dragon. That is a light dragon. It should be dragon and light type.
Technically.
I don't know if that's like a good way to explain a light type.
Yeah,
because it's just like literally made of light.
Wouldn't that be electricity? What is light? It's energy, right?
Yeah. I guess I could see that, but I mean, they would have to add some electric like vibes to it, which they could.
Yeah. Jay, by the way,
there are others.
That's a good point.
There are others too, like other Pokemon. Go for it.
Just gonna say, Jay, thank you for the $1 donation, mate. I appreciate it. But where were we? I'm kind of curious though to get into some other stuff, because we're gonna get stuck on this shit forever if we don't move on for topics.
I know. I want to talk about more types now.
But like sound type, okay, I think sound typing out of every possible typing is the most logical. Like next case,
they're gonna firm believer of sound type.
Yep.
I'm a firm believer,
bro. Sound type, Boom Blast, give it to me.
Let's see. So let's next talk about some of the other stuff, because we've talked about we didn't really conclude it, but let's maybe do a conclusion on that, right? So Ku today, alongside Pokemon Masters, essentially, what you see on the screen right now, confirmed the typings of the legendaries, or he confirmed to us that our speculation and theorizing was correct. As you've been doing, SoulSilver, like you've been like, you know, kind of looking at these like Masters posts that he's been putting out and trying to like draw all the lines and connect all the dots. And what it comes down to is that we're going to have a legendary that is Dragon Fighting and Dragon Electric. And if you're wondering how this was confirmed, it's on the screen right now. You can see there's an image of, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, it's an image of Pokemon Masters, and the Pokemon in there specifically match up with it. And on top of that, Ku even included a message here that pretty much literally says that, yeah, this is the legendaries for Titan, which is the code name of these games, Scarlet and Violet. So that is pretty much what we have that. So I think we already now, for a fact, know the typings of the two legendaries. We know that they're
so excited
Dragon
for
Electric.
new dragons, dude. That's so
gonna be
exciting.
Yeah,
sick.
it's
gonna be
so
sick.
amazing.
I'm so excited.
I was so happy when I heard that. And I think everyone will love it.
Dude, I
Do you
hope
think
so.
so? The way I always saw these, I mean, I don't know if I thought of this or if it's in the Uncle Leak or something, but the way I saw this, do you guys think this is real? Where like electricity is innovation and that's the progress?
That's what I was saying as well. Yeah, that's. I think
Yeah. Are we thinking that could be it?
Oh, it's so
I
tough.
love that
It's
representation.
But it could be a reverse. It could be like
It could be reversed.
It could be a reverse, you know, like where they twist it backwards, right? Because wasn't that the thing with like
Like black and white.
Yeah, black and white, exactly.
Yes.
You like
Exactly.
you play Pokemon White version, but the legendary is the black colored one, and vice versa. Pokemon White is the black colored one. So like they could do the inverse thing, right? I mean,
Yeah,
they did that. They did that with the logo actually. If you look at the colors of the logos, and I think I mentioned this the last time as well. But the Scarlet logo uses the colors of the new Spanish flag, right? Whereas the Violet logo uses the colors of the old Spanish flag that was used in the past. But interestingly, interestingly enough, Violet uses a font that's more futuristic versus Scarlet that uses a more classical old type of font. One looks more
That's a great
technological. You know what I mean? But it's the inverse, right? The colors don't match because the colors should be swapped around with the fonts. Like if you think about it, Scarlet should have technically, that digital font then to match up with the colors of the flag, or just switch around the colors. My point is that they do the inverse, so we cannot look at the typings and just determine off of that, because it could just be the switcheroo. It could also not be the switcheroo, but it's kind of literally impossible to tell.
They do it on purpose to mess with us.
Yep.
But you're so right. I'm so glad we got here, actually, because I remember watching that and being like, that's 100% right. Like, it could be either. I really don't know which one is which.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know like which one it's going to be, but we'll have to wait and see.
I mean, as long as it contains those themes, I'm gonna be excited.
Oh, for a fact,
dude.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get like wild variations in locations similar to Black and White? Oh, all this talk about Black and White is getting me hyped. I'm like, is that gonna be the Renaissance? Right? Like, could we actually be getting a remake this gen? I'm not gonna jump to conclusions.
Dude,
but,
if they do a Legends Unova type game, oh my god, that would be sick. Like,
that would be amazing.
Like, I'm not even the biggest fan of Gen 5 and Unova. Like, I'm not even the biggest fan of it, but I just know that, like, what they... By the way, can I just say something really funny, though, about this? Unova is, like, so goofy to me, because it's based on, like, what, New York and, like, America and all that, but it has a background history that's based on, like, medieval Europe. It's, like, so inverted, because I feel like Game Freak just went and, like, okay, so what mythologies does America have? Everybody's like...
People love Game of Thrones. Well, let's do that.
Nothing, but it's like, they're like, well, we don't really have anything, but just wing it. I don't know, take some
Lord
British,
of the Rings sold well.
Exactly. And it's like, dude, when I think about it, like Unova, I feel like has the best history in Pokemon. That plus Johto, I think the two of them have like the best like past.
The third,
games. You know what I mean?
A close third would be like Kalos, because Kalos gave us so much lore, then Oraz gave us like the multiverse and stuff. Like,
yeah, that's true. But I feel like
there was so much cut from Kalos too.
If you're like,
so it's like
that makes me think. Something I was thinking about last night was like, we talk about, are we gonna get Johto remakes? Are we gonna get Gen 5 remakes? But the proximity to Spain, to France, like that really makes me think. Like, and if we're getting an open world game, could we actually see some sort of crossover into Kalos?
You want me to be honest?
Like, if you want a big game, right? Like, if you want a big game, that's how you could do it.
Can I be honest?
Be honest.
That's not gonna happen.
I agree.
And like as much as I'd love that, it's never gonna happen. They might give us like a little zone, like, and when I say zone, I'm literally talking what equivalent to a singular room that's made in like 5 minutes by developer, and then they will be like, oh, this is like where you can take the train to another region. I think it starts with K or some shit like that, and you can never do anything. It's just a guy just blocking you.
It's a sign.
Like, exactly. It's just like, oh, you can't go this way. Sorry, but like this road is currently under
it's a
construction.
Miniature replica. Yeah, it's like a miniature replica of Kalos.
Dude, exactly. But that's the thing. They're not gonna do that because one simple fucking fact and truth. It's just easier to not do it, right?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Because they're gonna sell this game to you anyways. So what's the point? Yeah. The only close thing I can think of is something like the Sinjo ruins from like Heart Gold Soul Silver. It's like the only thing I think of. Yeah, it's the only.
It really depends on what they do for DLC. Like who knows? Maybe they could do something, but I don't know about the whole region. No way.
What if like Kalos is the remake game? What if they totally break the system? They did that in Go a couple years ago. I know I'm getting kind of wild, but like, what if? Like that.
But not really though, because they are wild. They do like to break the systems all the time. That's all they do.
Yeah.
Or like hovering over them and like being like, oh, you have to do this, because that's what was done the last 10 years. But I mean that. I don't know. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. And then they combine the two regions, so they're two separate games.
Yeah. Personally, I think that a realistic expectation from any Kalos representation is that the decks, how it's going to be composed of new mons and old mons. I feel like the majority of the mons from Kalos are going to be in Scarlet and Violet's like main Pokédex. And maybe for DLC, we can go to that one post-game town that we got the access to in X and Y, where the Battle Maison is and stuff like that. Since that's like southern, it's like the most southern town from Kalos, closer to our hometown, and we have to take that train to get there.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a train at the bottom that leads to that same town. And
I love that.
NPCs can be like, oh, you're from, the blank region. I'm from, this is like a Kalos location, and it's really hard to get here because you have to take like a train or something to get there. I think that would be like as close as Kalos as we're going to get, that one small post-game town from Kalos.
Yeah.
That has like the battle facility and stuff.
Matt Burb said something interesting, which is like Canary Islands DLC superior to Kalos. And actually, yeah, I do think if they were to do a DLC, it would be based on the Canary Islands. Like it's one of those territories owned by Spain, which is like world rug and renown for being theirs and being a tourist destination. I think they would use that as a basis for like a DLC. But I will be saying something though. I don't think I'm going to see Kalos in any way or shape. Maybe a little bit of a hint, but as much as I'd love for it to happen, I don't think they will do it. Even as somebody pointed out, it's not like Kalos isn't an open world game to begin with. The Kalos region is an open world region.
Yeah, that's a huge point.
So it's hard to like translate that over. You could make the argument, but they did it with Legends Arceus, but that doesn't work because
that's what I would say. That's what I would say.
But that's the problem. Legends Arceus isn't based in current times. You know what I mean? If you think of current, like, Scarlet Violet, that's based in present time, I would assume. But like on the other hand, Kalos is also based on present time. That means that all the buildings and locations, the way that they're lined up within that game, you would have to translate all that over somehow, which is very fucking difficult. Legends is different because Legends takes back, place in the past, so you don't have to create all of Jubilee City with all the massive buildings. You don't have to create all these towns and stuff that would technically, exist here at some point. You don't have to do all of that.
Yeah.
I would appreciate. Yeah. What's up, Kim?
I was going to say another thing is that Kalos as a region is huge. Do you guys not remember the gap between the first and second gym? Like that was like 2 or 3 towns. Like you had to go to Lumios, then you had to go to another town, go through a cave. Like it was a huge gap. And then after that, like to the third gym and stuff, like and then you're making your way around a region. Like Kalos in itself is huge, especially Lumios. And all the side locations in Kalos, they're really big. And like, as much as I would love to see an open world Kalos, I don't know how such a region that's already big in itself can translate into an open world game. And if the Gen 8 region, based off of the trailer we've seen, it looks to be big already. So I don't even think Hyrule is that big to where we can fit 2 huge regions in one game, and then one that was already tile based. If they could just translate that to open world, as much as I would love to see that, I personally don't think so. I don't even think the Switch cartridge can handle it.
Probably not.
That's fair.
That's why the Legends games exist, right? That's their way of translating it over, because what they can do is they can pick and choose what parts they want to use and what parts they don't want to use. Like, they can just take all of Lumios and just be like, well, instead of being this massive, it's only going to be this massive, right? And they shrink it. So that they don't, like, that's what they did with, like, what? Like Jubilee Village, whatever it's called now, right?
Yeah.
It's not Jubilee City, which is, if you actually think about it, fucking big, okay? There's a bunch of buildings, a bunch of shit there, you know? There's a lot of stuff there, technically, but they're not doing that. They're just kind of like, you know, making it smaller and more minuscule, and then every other city in town basically doesn't exist. Or if it does exist, it's just a little village. You know what I mean? That's like all it really is in Legends. Also, Jack, thank you for the $5. Says, if we go back to Kalos, it could show the duality between open world and linear gameplay, literally showing Pokemon past and future, with Kalos being linear. Ooh.
Yeah,
I would love that.
That would be sick.
I would love that.
That would be so fucking cool.
So they would essentially be making like 2 different games.
Yeah, they can remake Kalos in like HD with textures and stuff, but instead of it being open world, everything's the same way it was back on the 3DS. And we can just explore that. I mean, people won't complain because no matter what, having 2 regions in one game is like huge in itself.
Yeah.
I would love that.
So it's like I'm reading this as the reverse of what happened in Sword and Shield, where we have a really linear main story, and then the post game feels open world in that sense. That actually wouldn't be that crazy, because I mean that is what they did in Johto, where like Kanto was like super it was shortened and it was simplified a lot. I mean, I would be fine with that.
You know what's funny?
It's just like I wanna feel. Yeah, what's up?
I literally talked about this in my video today. I specifically brought up.
Really?
I specifically talked about how can they pull off an open world game, and I was literally saying like, oh, one of the ways they could pull it off is by having the world open to you, but like locking off like things and making them still that standard Pokemon, you have to go this way route in, you know, areas where it's just, you know, they want to do that, like basically the inverse of Sword and Shield, as you're saying, right? Like the inverted version of that. Instead of it being like, oh, everything is linear, but there's one little space where you're open and free.
I like
it's
that
the
a lot.
inverse, where it's like everything is open, but in these small areas you're locked in, motherfucker, and you have to do shit the way we tell you. You know what I mean?
Honestly, so I was playing back Fire Red Leaf Green, and like I forgot how actually boring the Sevi Islands are. And but to just play those regardless, to access another part of Kanto that's nowhere else in any other game is still really cool and magical, and it's still fun to explore a new area even though there's really not much to do. So I think that sounds fun to me.
As long as they fill it with content like they did in Legends, right? As long as you have like side quests, missions, things to do, that's all they really need.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the problem with Pokemon games. At least like for somebody like myself, because that's the kind of shit that I do want to see, like the side quests, the extra missions, the hidden locations, shit like that. That's the fun part for me. But also, you know, like, of course, long term they need online stuff to keep people around, right? But if we're talking about like just base game stuff, if they want people to explore and do stuff, because like it's easy. I can tell you right now, it's very easy just to make a base Pokemon game and have a massive open world and just plop Pokemon in there. Whatever, anybody can do that. Okay, it's not that difficult in reality. What is difficult is making people have a reason to run across the map to another area. You have to give them a reason to do that, right? You have to give them a reason to want to travel around. If there is no reason for you to go to this lake or that mountain or that cave, if you don't have a reason to go there, why would you, right? You got to make a reason for them to go there, and it doesn't have to be super on the nose, right? Like you don't have to like make it super on the nose, but give them a reason to explore, like, oh, you know, got to collect this thing, or oh, hey, you know, we have like a side mission. Oh, we've heard rumblings in this area of the map. You should go check it out. And you get there and you can like sneak up on, I don't know, fucking know, like a bunch of Kangaskhan just having a rowdy party or some shit. Like, you know, gotta give us a reason to explore.
You said earlier, you were like, you said like we're never gonna get a Legend style Kanto, and I think that would actually be that would make for a really cool game. Like,
I think
it
would, but I don't know if that's gonna ever happen though, because of just like
I think Legend style Kanto would be awesome. And people would probably hate me for that because people are so done with it. But I would love Kanto like that. It would be so different.
Personally, I think they can pull it off because Kanto in itself is a small enough region to where they can just make an open world. They can add stuff and take stuff away. They can make Mount Silver like a big part of like going to and visiting. And like I said, Kanto and Johto are both small regions to where they're like perfect for open world because there's less to take and like adapt because everything's yeah, like everything's already laid out for them to just Pallet Town. We can just make this like Pallet Village or like Vermilion Village and do stuff like that.
The problem with remaking these older games is because you end up with remake these old games in the current engine is because like you end up with something like BDSP where it's just like it's like you're required to copy paste certain things and there's already a structure to the region. So I think reimagining these older regions just in another dimension, another point in time, it gives the developers a lot of freedom, but it also gives us like great insight, and they can expand on a lot of things that we already are familiar with, and just see these things in a different light. So I mean, I don't know if it will happen, but I love that idea. I would love to see. That's why like Kanto, Johto, we already saw Sinnoh. Kanto, Joe, and Hoenn. Give it to us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do think somewhere down the line, if it's worth it, because you got to remember, everything with Pokemon is about like how many people are willing to buy it, right? How many people will buy it? Yeah. What is the overhead on it? Like, how long does it take us to make it? Is it worth the time investment versus the cost versus the total outcome at the end, right? It's all about like how much money can they make at the end, right? It's all about that. But I don't know, like Legends games, I think we'll see more of them. I think that like Arceus did well enough with the short time frame and being something totally new for them. I think it did well enough, but also, again, I feel like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Legends Arceus, and these games, even Ultra Sun and Moon to some extent, I feel like a lot of these games are almost like test games. It's almost just like their way of testing out certain features or ways of developing a game, or just, whatever it might be, just them testing things out rather than it being a fully fledged new mainline series or whatever. Because if you look at it, technically then, we would have like 5 different branching paths, right? We'd have the main generation new games, the third versions, the freaking, the remakes, the re-remakes, the Legends games. Like, it's too many.
Pokemon Go.
Exactly. Yeah. There's too many directions, and it's like just, a loose cannon rather than a precise scalpel. But I think that they know what they're doing, and those games are like tests. But I feel like it's like if it does well enough, then why wouldn't they do more of it? I mean, they're proof that like remakes do well. They sold 15 million with BDSP. Literally a month or two later, they release another game that also sells a shit ton. Proof is in the pudding. Okay, they can do it. So them doing another Legends game based on Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Unova, Kalos eventually as well, they can do it. Kalos is not going to happen anytime soon, though, because Kalos, I still think, is too recent. It's too recent to do it. I mean, think about it. The most recent remakes have been of games that are at this point, 15 years old, right?
Yeah, 15 years old, yeah.
Kalos is not
Kalos
old.
Kalos will be 10 years next year. Yeah, Kalos will be 10 years next year.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's still too early, I would say. It's still like
it's been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch like this new wave of Kalos hype, and it's got me thinking like
it's so weird to me though, because I always assumed people hated it. Like I never played like Kalos. I
still don't love it. I still don't love it.
People hate Kalos not for what Kalos is, but rather what Kalos was missing.
What it could have been.
Like Sword and Shield. That's a great point.
Very true.
People don't hate Kalos for like the game itself. Like Kalos was great, the dex was great, the story. What you can tell the story was missing a lot. AZ was
kind of sucked.
Yeah, AZ was such. Yeah, AZ was such an important character that he only showed up twice in the entire story. Like Lysander's goal, it kind of made sense, but not really. Team Flare weren't that interesting. The power plants. There was an NPC that even mentioned seeing in the power plants. We can't access the power plants. There's no actual means to catch Diancie or Hoopa. Xerneas and Yveltal, despite them being the life and death Pokemon, don't really do anything. Yeah, they don't do anything. They're literally held captive, and then they wake up and you catch them. Like Kalos, there's like Zygarde also has nothing to do at all. You can tell. You can tell you can tell there's going to be a Z, but Sun and Moon was happening because he literally shows up as a post-game legendary in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon's base story, and his third form is in the game Sun and Moon. Like he was missing. Like Kalos itself is. I loved Kalos, but I know, and I really hope that one day they choose to revisit it and give it the proper third version or continuation that it deserves, because the anime.
I think they will.
Yeah, the anime had to tie up loose ends.
There was a Z version in development. There was like details and files leaked that they were working. There was also Pokemon Gray for Pokemon Black and White. There was a Pokemon Z. There was a Pokemon Z being worked on. Like it was.
Wasn't it? I was gonna say, wasn't it not called Z, but like X2 and Y2? I remember.
I don't remember but basically there was a kind of Z-esque game, right? Like a game that was supposed to be Pokemon Z. There was one in development. It just got canceled. That's about it. And that's the thing you have to remember, because people, like, this is one of the things when people are like, especially about rumors and leaks and all that, when people don't believe it, is you got to remember they oftentimes will create these ideas that they'll have concepts and stuff, and they might even be in pre-production of that, and then somewhere along the line somebody will step in and be like, no, we're not doing that, cancel it, like drop it, like in the trash can, we're not doing this. It can happen at any given point for whatever reason. Maybe they decide, hey, Nintendo hit us up with details. There's a new console coming out. We have to develop something to match up with their time frame for that. This project doesn't match up with that.
That definitely happened for the Nintendo Switch and Sword
exactly.
and Shield.
And that's the thing. You got to just keep that in mind, that projects can get canceled. So if you read a rumor, I still think that the original Pokemon Plus and Minus rumor, or the Future Past thingy that they talked about in there, I think that was legitimate. I think that was actually a thing they were working on, but somewhere along the line, they just decided to drop it. Okay, somewhere along the line that was dropped. So just keep that in mind. Pokemon Z could have happened. It didn't happen though. Kalos is just kind of like, I feel like it needs that remake to get justifiably like fixed. Like it just needs something to be like, because I know people might be saying like, oh, but I'm tired of them doing remakes, etc. But I feel like that's one of those games that actually does deserve it in some way to fix all the agonizing stuff that could have easily been fixed if they had more time to it. And I think that they can definitely do that. Eclipse also said something, which is he says, I agree. All games are testing fields, and they never delivered their best because they have to test right away new stuff in the next games. Yes, and I think the case right here is that they used Legends Arceus to test out features for Scarlet and Violet. Like, I think that's literally it.
Yeah.
I think even like the agile style and the strong style were some form of like something we might be getting in Scarlet and Violet, some version of some sort of feature. Not like, we're not going to get those exact ones, but something there was the Legends Arceus, including as well Sword and Shield, were testing fields. Because if you look, like, seriously, just look at everything they do. Like, follow the literally like the red line that like goes through all their development. Like, you can literally see what they're doing, right? So in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, they try out the idea of like, or they even like already did it with like Sun and Moon, try out the idea of mounting Pokemon, right? Riding on Pokemon. They expand on that in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and actually make it so you can fly on Pokemon, all that shit, right? Then in in Sword and Shield, they introduce an open area, but they don't make it fully open world. However, they introduce a DLC next, which is them again expanding on that, which is, hey, here's the Crown Tundra, fully open world. Go and have fucking fun. We're not going to give it, just do your shit. Have fun. I just smacked my light. Do whatever you want. Have fun with it, right? Then like, it's just like a non-stop thing. They introduce something, then they expand upon it next, and so on and so forth. So I think Scarlet and Violet is going to be kind of the epitome of all those things we've seen most recently kind of into one thing. But will we see Kalos? Kalos Lost Alien Plot bring us that best game assured. And also, John, thank you for the $1 donation, mate. But let's leave the Kalos hype behind for a bit, and let's talk about the Gen 9 Pokedex, as well as the trailer and when we should expect the trailer. I have given my opinion on this, but I want to hear what you guys think. Dusty, Cam, Soul, would any of you guys particularly want to start first on this? Like, any of you guys?
Should we start with the trailer? Probably.
Let's start with the trailer.
Because the Gen 9 decks might be like really deep and crazy.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with the trailer. So, Soul, do you want to start then, and then we'll do Cam or Dusty afterwards? Do you want to start off then?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, we could get an announcement. The last thing we got was on a Thursday.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I feel like an announcement is very easy. They just tweet it out. They just say, hey, we're doing a Pokemon Direct next week, June 1st, June 2nd, whatever it is. Which would suck really bad for me because I'm going to be on a plane June 2nd. Yeah, I agree. I don't think that it will be next week, but I'm just saying that it's very possible still that they could do an announcement this week. And I don't
If
want to
not
like
next
hype
week,
everyone
then
too crazy,
yeah,
but
if not next week, then definitely the week after. I feel like
Yeah.
next week and like 2 weeks from now is like definitive at this point because it's
Yeah.
always in that. It's always in that like 10th to like 15th spot.
oh yeah. So what Cam was talking about, I don't know if you guys saw Cam's tweet, but you guys should follow him on everything and and see what he's talking about. But he just was talking about Go Fest was coming out, and I know it ended up being that's on a weekend, but it still like sparked like the whole idea of they are putting out so much stuff right now, and like almost like just getting it out of the way or like filling up time to put in a presents. Even like today we got Masters news, we're getting Unite news, we got that Go news with the Ultra Beast or whatever is happening.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's all adding up, plus all the stuff that Cam put in his thread. So it's just like a lot of stuff it feels like right before Pokemon Day.
Yeah. It usually is. It usually is like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It feels really suspicious to me that they would like announce all this stuff that you would normally see in a presents, and then like they just laid it flat out on the table. Especially now with the Masters news and the Unite news coming soon, and then the anime and the home, especially the home stuff, that all just feels like something that should have like especially like whenever, especially what was it 2021 with the DLC announcement, like the launch day of the Aloe Armor. They gave us I think a home update at that time too, or something like that. It was like I don't know. It just felt like that was meant to be in a presents this past week or so, and they just said let's just do it early. And I think they're doing this, and this is just they're doing this so when the presents does come, they give us like they make it primarily Scarlet and Violet, so they can have enough time to get everything across without like
that's a good idea.
Like they don't sugarcoat it, because normally when it presents they're like, this welcome to our presents. Before we dive into the main event, let's talk about Masters, let's talk about Go, let's talk about a potential anime or stuff like that. I feel like this time around they're just going to be like, here's the presents, here's Scarlet and Violet, here's what you've been waiting for, and I don't expect more announcements coming like later, like July and stuff.
I don't know if you saw my thread about all that, but I basically just went back and watched Sword and Shield's like whole second presents for like the second trailer and everything, and it was all of it. Yeah, it was all Sword and Shield, and is that the one where they so much.
Is that the one where they released the 3 starter or not the starter Pokemon, but like the 3 early route Pokemon, and then they released the box legendaries, and they release I think Dynamax as well.
Yes,
all of that. They dropped crazy. Everything. They did Hop, Leon, the Professor. Sonya. They showed the region. Yeah, Sonya. They did those 3, I think 4 actually, because Corviknight was in there too. And they were like, Corviknight, you can like ride around.
It's the best Pokemon of Gen 8.
It was Corviknight, Eldegoss, and Dreadnought, I believe.
Yeah. No, actually, no. 5. So because they did Gossifleur, and then they were like, Gossifleur evolves into Eldegoss, and then it was huge. So they dropped so much. I'm really expecting it to be like that, and I'm hoping I'm not getting everyone's hopes too high. But
no, I think that makes sense considering how well Sword and Shield sold. They would want to be like, okay, well, if this is the model that works, let's do this.
But never
again.
trust them. Never trust them to be logical. Never trust them to actually use their brain, because they are weird as fuck. I will always remember the strangeness behind the reveal of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. For whatever reason, they just decided, all right, we're doing a fucking press conference for this bitch. Okay, cool, whatever. Let's just do a press conference. Here's Detective Pikachu movie. Here's fucking Detective Pikachu game. Here's motherfucking I don't know like let's.
Then now cancel Pokemon Sleep.
Yeah, Pokemon Sleep, which holy shit, it's been since 2018. They haven't done anything with it. 4 years.
It's dead. It's dead, people.
What happened?
I'm sure that
what happened, yo?
How is it been 4 years?
We can make jokes about it, but it's pretty much dead at this point.
Oh yeah. Jack-o'-lantern, thank you for $5. Says, well, yes, but they did the same thing for Pokemon Day, and they still went over it again in the presents. I think next week it will drop though. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I personally think it's gonna be the second week of June, not the next week, but the week after that. That's what I personally
That makes the most sense. It makes the most sense.
Because I feel like they wouldn't want to do it at the start of a month.
They did the same thing for Pokemon
because
Day,
of just
and then
like
still went
it
over
being.
it again in the present.
I don't know. It's just something they don't usually do. I feel like they oftentimes try to do it like, you know, not at the start of a month or at the end of the month, but usually like a bit like into a month. Usually, like it's never like right at the beginning of one. So I think we're most likely going to see it around that period instead, rather than, you know, more than anything else. But before we continue, guys, I have something very important I want to really quickly do. So this podcast, which we're doing right now, this will be posted over on the POKEMANIACS podcast YouTube channel. We'll be posting the VODs there. We're going to be posting clips and all that sort of stuff. But on top of that, we have two lovely lads because, well, we're trying to get SoulSilver to still make a YouTube channel. He will eventually. I will make him.
I mean, you can promote my Twitter too.
Oh, dude, yes, that is very fair. But ladies and gentlemen, we do have a YouTube channel for this whole podcast, and currently our boys Cam Tendo and Dusty Gogoat are like so close to hitting their like sub goals. Dusty just needs 30 more subs to get to 6,000, and Cam needs 140 to get to 1K. Guys, can we get into 1,000 subs? It'd be really appreciated. He's one of the boys. Let's get into 1,000 subs because he's been wanting to. He's been trying to get there.
When did you start? Well, like 3
months
ago?
When did I start? I started in August.
Bro.
So, ladies and gents, I will be putting the link. I'll be putting the link in the chat. You guys can go to the podcast channel, and you will see their channels there as well. Just go and sub to them, and if you need the direct link, I'll link that. If you're wondering what kind of content they make, same kind of shit that I do, but just higher quality than me. So if you want somebody that it doesn't just shit talk for like 10 minutes, you know, and go on Twitter or whatever, and Reddit and 4chan, you can check them out, especially when it comes to like higher quality. Cam, you take a longer time to break down everything, and Dusty, your quality of editing on rumors, top notch, my friend. So go give him some love, guys. Get them to their sub goals, please. It'd be really appreciated.
Guys. Come hang out.
So go give him some love, lads. Also, we were at 150. We were 151 subs on the podcast, by the way, channel. The podcast is like
really? No videos. Yep. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but guys, come on, let's do this. We can do this. He's like what?
Hit
128. If you guys all just pop in, we got 561 people watching. If all of you popped in there and subbed to the main channel, we can get it to 200. If you guys sub to Dusty, he just needs like 30 more. That's not a big deal. Come on, 30 of you guys can do it. There's definitely 30 of you guys out there that like Gogoat enough that you want to fucking sub to a man who's dedicated his life to this podcast.
We talked about Kalos for 30 minutes. Yeah, come on.
Dusty, look, I'm a firm believer that if we don't get an Iberian Ibex Pokemon, we're gonna get a regional variant for Go-Go. That's gonna be the Ibex.
What type do we think? Ice ground, ice rock?
I think rock because Ibex is, the Ibex is a mountainous goat, so definitely a rock type.
I gotta make if I hit 6,000 subs today, I'll make a video all about it. All about the new regional.
Hey, well, dude, Gogoat is pretty lit, to be honest. Yo, Sylph just called Gogoat lit. That's a very big honor right there.
Yo, what's up, Sylph?
But
yo, Sylph Spectre.
Hey, look, we're only like you're 20 subs away now, Dusty, and Cam, you're like what, 114 guys. Come on, you can do this. Come on, boys, you can do this shit.
Quick, you guys were quick.
You guys can do this. This is not that difficult. You guys can do this. I believe.
I'm at 5999. Guys, I'm not a charity case. I'm posting a video tonight. You guys are gonna enjoy the content.
Guys, you heard it. If you want breakdown, if you want breakdown info, you hit it.
We hit 6K.
Hey, let's go, dude.
Yo, let's do it.
Let's go, my dude. Yo, wait.
Do my regional form video tonight.
Guess what? And yo, Cam, you're like what? Like 106 away, my dude. You're almost getting there.
Yeah.
I can't believe this. The Mankey. Thank you so much for the submate. And also, hey, the podcast channel is about to hit 200 as well. So, guys, thank you so much. It's about to rip past 200. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Dude, I don't know, man. I'm just happy that, like, we're doing this podcast, to be honest. I'm just kind of happy we're doing all this.
It's been a lot of fun, man.
Dude, it is sick, man. It is just sick to be doing something like, now everybody on sub. Don't you dare do it. Don't you dare. You bastards. Don't you dare. No, but for real though, it's like actually fun. Hey, yo, 900. Cam, you hit 900, man. So like, guys, come on. 98 more. Come on, you got this, lads. You got this.
If you guys are going to subscribe, you have to watch the videos. If you don't watch the videos,
but to be fair,
YouTube's going to punish
me. To be fair, if you watch me, you will enjoy their content. I can guarantee you that right now. Okay, if this was anybody else, then like it would be hard for me to sell their channels to you guys, like as a reasonable one to subscribe to. But since they are basically the kind of content creators that I kind of make the similar content to, you will enjoy the stuff you see there. It's just higher quality than my garbage.
I've been watching Ruffled since he started, like 5 years ago during Sun and Moon era. Dude, Ruffled Rowlet's a huge inspiration. I love that we're working together now. This is incredible.
Yeah, same. I'm starting really bad because I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. But I never expected myself to be a PokeTuber, let alone a YouTuber at all. And I'm hanging out with like Dusty and Ruffled and SoulSilver, and I've made so many friends along. I've made so many friends along the way. Like it's been awesome. It's been a wild ride. I'm here for it.
Well, dude, I'm just glad you guys are enjoying yourself, and I'm glad you guys like got into this whole thing. Just happy to have.
I love this charity stream. I feel like we should talk about the Pokedex.
Oh yeah, we got that. But I still need to. Guys, come on. Like I got to promo you guys. Okay, I got to hype you up. Okay, listen. I'm a hype man. Okay, like I'm a designated hype man. I swear to God, they should give me like a fucking trophy for hyping up like Pokemon games every single fucking year. So like, nonetheless, boys, come on. What are we doing? What is this? What is this pussy shit? What is this? Come on. You can't get this man to 1K. You can't get this man to 1,000. What kind of pussy ass shit am I looking at? Like what is this? You can't do it? What are you little children?
Cam, do you have 4K? Do you have 4K hours?
Or yeah, I do.
Oh,
all right,
dude,
guys, come on.
Tonight, dude.
Get this
you're
man.
Gonna get your first YouTube buck.
Get this man his monetization ready. Come on. Let YouTube promote him. Let him.
I have everything but the 1K. That's pretty much it.
Dude, you will see one very important thing happen once you hit 1K subs, which is all of a sudden you will see a random bump in all your like rumor videos. Just guaranteed. Okay, you will see just a random bump in viewership all of a sudden because YouTube is like, wait a minute, we can make money off of him now. Let's go, boys! Woo! Like they will just fucking love it, dude. Already subbed 3 times. I can't sub anymore. Giovanni, yes you can. 3? That's all you can do. You can only sub 3 times. What kind of weak sauce shit is that? You can do better. Also, Kazuki, thank you for the $5. What type of new gimmick would you want? I think a Pokemon fusion that becomes armor for the trainer would be sick. That would actually be pretty.
Dude, Okay, crazy flashback. Remember when Sword and Shield was first revealed, and we all thought that armor evolutions were going to be the main mechanic because of it being the UK based region.
No cap. Literally, that's exactly what I was showing. I was showing my my girl last night. Like I was literally showing her like my old video covering that. I was like, hey, do you remember when like we thought Zeraora was going to get fucking armor? Like
for the trainer.
I wish, man.
Dude, that
form is so cool.
That would have been so cool, bro. I'm sorry. I just do not like Dynamaxing. I think Dynamaxing is dog shit. I just don't think it's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's just a watered down Mega. It's just a watered out. Were we talking about it? Was I talking about it with someone else? I feel like Dynamax should have just been like, if a Gyarados Dynamaxes, it should just become its Mega form, right? Like, I wish they incorporated that stuff a little bit better. I
don't know. I don't know if like a mega form will have been like. I don't know how that would have even worked. To be honest, if they would have done that.
I don't know.
Sub to all.
I just
thank you, Lady Aru. Appreciate it. Thank you.
There's so many cool ideas, and I feel like Dynamax is. I mean, it's fine, and I get why they did it because of the relation to Pokemon Go, right? Like you want to again. That was around the time period where they're trying to like make Pokemon Go a legitimate game alongside the main series.
Yeah,
I remember my brother-in-law, like I'll be like, oh well, I play the main series, and he's like, yeah, me too, but he's referring to Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Well, we've got you to 9:25, Cam. So we'll take a break from like spamming people with a link to your channel for now, and I'll be back.
So
to
hyped
that.
for Cam.
I'll be back for that. Don't you worry. We're gonna be back to that shit again. Don't you worry. We're gonna force them to subscribe to you eventually. Okay, so if you can't make them do it on their own, you gotta force them. Okay, well, it's just the way that communism works. Either way, let's get into the next topic because we talked a bit about the trailer, and I kind of already you all said yours, I said mine, which is I think it's going to be not next week, but the week after that. Soul, you think it might actually still happen this week because of the fact that they've moved the trailer reveals a little bit further into the week as of recent.
One thing you have to think too is what Ku said as well.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which is like
what did he say,
said
actually?
He said in June he'll start talking again, and by talking he's going to break down his riddles before the trailer. So like you have to think like a few days at least, at the very least, before it. And he's going to give us a new riddle, is what he said. So, like, I don't know how much time that could take. I even like think that it could be beyond the second week of June, at the latest, the third week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of that. Like, I hope not too, but
that would.
But it is possible. I'm not saying that it's going to be next week. I'm just saying once June hits, it's go time. It's like we're in.
Definitely.
Oh boy. I don't know. I just wonder how that's gonna actually turn out, because I feel like once we enter June, then that's when we're in the end game for that fucking presents. But I really wonder though, why are they being so slow with it? Like because I'm thinking back to like Sun and Moon era. Maybe, I mean, I think some people argue that like, oh, they revealed too much, but I don't personally think so. But like, did they feel like they revealed too much back then? Like, is that it?
I feel like that happened, and they heard the people saying that it was too much, and then they've just stuck with this ever since. And it's just, they're literally following Sword and Shield right now. I thought they were going to go back, but they didn't.
I don't know. It's so dumb in my opinion. Why be like that? Like, why do it that way? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what's weirder to me about that? If the uncle rumor is true or holds some merit, and there's going to be over 130 mons, I feel like the big thing that people were complaining about with Sun and Moon, like all this info coming out so fast, is that when the data mine happened for Sun and Moon, there were only like 6 or 7 Pokemon that we didn't know about, including like the Ultra Beast and I think Araquanid and Crabnominable. There were like certain Pokemon that we didn't know about. If this Dex is that big with all these new mons, if it's going to be a repeat of gens like 3 and 5, I feel like they should have at least shown us something earlier. Even if we didn't know about the Dex being big, if it is big, I honestly feel like this is a huge step for them being fully open world. I feel like they would want to hype this up as soon as they can, in my personal opinion, but that's just me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Koo. I mean, I'm sorry.
Koo? Ooh, Koo?
I am Koo.
Did you just trigger it?
Yes,
Just Koo? Holy shit, identity leaked!
I still think it's going to be.
I totally agree
typing.
with you, Cam.
Look
I
at
was
Koo's
disappointed
Master's
as well.
Collage.
I took a look
Top
at the
right, there's Dragon Dark.
data
The
data mine.
Garchomp
I
is
saw the
Dragon
Pokemon. I realized there's only a couple left, right? And I think I really do want. I'm ready for another huge Pokedex. I'm ready.
Oh yeah, I think a lot.
Oh yeah,
I think a lot.
we all
Stop
want
for
that.
60 seconds. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, Ryu, by the way, thank you for the $5. He says, I still think it's going to be the inverse typing. Look at Koo's Master's Collage. Top right, there's a Dragon Dark, then Garchomp is Dragon Ground.
I'll put that to bed right now if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. Give us the breakdown.
The Dragon Dark at the top means nothing, basically, unless there's a hidden meaning, but what Koo has told us, from what he's told us. And he usually, when he says something, he doesn't like, oh, there's like this secret meaning behind it over here. He said that he put numbers on all of the hints on that picture that are actually real. And he didn't put that on the Dragon Dark typing at the top. So that means that Dragon Dark typing basically means nothing at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
See,
that's like a huge hole in a lot of people's theories, but...
Yeah, I was going to say at first I thought that was going to be the third legendary typing, but when he came out with the whole number thing, it wasn't numbered, and I kind of just let that rest.
Yeah, a lot of people missed it because those numbers were so small. They were like tiny little black numbers, and like barely anybody saw it. They just thought that he reposted the same picture.
Yeah, they kind of camouflaged with the picture too.
Yeah, I think he did it on purpose, just for that.
He does a lot of that, though. He does a lot of that, like, that way, like, for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know, he likes to hide. He likes to hide his stuff, like, kind of very, very, very strangely. But either way, so we've kind of gone through that now. We've gone through the topic of the trailer. Let's now maybe look into some of the other stuff we've got here. So I want to talk about, before we go into the Gen 9 Pokédexes, I feel like that's too deep of a rabbit hole to jump into right now. Let's talk about Eclipse's gimmick stuff.
Is he still in here?
Because Eclipse, if you're still here, my friend, I would love for you to to just be there and be your goofy little self.
I don't know.
because we love you, buddy. We love you. But man, you are a confusing guy. So if you guys do not know, I'm going to give an explanation here for anybody who hasn't seen this, because I haven't covered in a video yet. I'll do that tomorrow. But here's a TLDR in video format. In stream format. So we got a post today from none else than Eclipse. Now, Eclipse, you know it yourself. We can't always trust you. Sometimes you sketch us out. We can't always trust everything you say. But that's also the fun part because sometimes it's like you give us legitimate info. Sometimes you mess with us, and it's a bald guy just giving us some weird fucking shit to work with. My point is, the information
I trust you,
today,
Eclipse.
I trust Eclipse as well, but
I do trust him a good amount as well.
I really believed Ball Guy was a
Trust
different
his
guy.
tweets.
I don't trust him though because of the Ball Guy shit. Because I believe Ball Guy was a different guy, but then it turned out it was the same person.
He was kind of though.
Wait, was it really Eclipse?
He was Eclipse at first.
Yeah, kind of. It's like a 50-50. That's everything with Eclipse, though. Everything, I listen, okay? Everything's 50-50. But here's what Eclipse tweeted out for us, right? Which is, let me get it all up for you guys. Basically, he tweeted out, it's time to go back to school, right? Now, all of us were kind of like...
This is the first point that I need to make, but I'll let you go. Go for it.
All right. I just gotta just explain everything, as he's been tweeting it, and I'm gonna try to get it on the screen here. You guys can see what we're talking about. So let's get rid of these two, and here you guys go. So he tweeted out, "Next we go back to school, kids." All right. So I saw that and I was like, "Is this got something to do maybe with like the fact that they showed us like that the characters are gonna be in their school uniforms, whatever? Is this it? Is this what it's all about?" I didn't get it. And then he continued on and teased the shit out of us by being like, just being like, oh, but it's very simple. Do you guys not remember school? Do you not remember how this works? And it was a picture of specifically like a color wheel in this case, showing off how different colors, when mixed and matched together, create other colors. An example here is like mixing like green and blue, creating teal, right? And then going up here into the giant wheel. Do you guys remember? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. If you do remember this one, this is the giant wheel somebody put together, supereffective.gg or 99 there. He made this one to represent the kind of circle you see in the Trail of Scarlet and Violet, which shows all the different typings. And I am kind of lost here, okay? I was trying to think of what could this mean? Is this, like, what does this have to do with the gimmick? I haven't seen the massive thread, so I want to see, because I think, Cam, you have a bit of info on this, but I think, Soul, you have the most information on this. So, do you want to break down what this whole situation is? Like, just break it down for people, because I am very torn on this. So, can you just go ahead and explain it all? At least to some extent.
Well, I'd like to hear what Dusty and Cam have to say first, and then maybe I'll go into it just a little, because it's like...
All right.
Trying to set us up.
Oh, wow, I see how it is.
Pretty intense. But I will say it is confusing. It's confusing. So like it's not clear. I'll just throw that out there right away.
No, not very clear.
Yeah.
All right. So Cam, do you have any thoughts on this?
Oh wait, Eclipse just posted something.
What did he say? Because I haven't seen it.
He said, "You see all the tweets up on Ball Guy's account right now? Those are all posted by me. All of the rest got canceled, and was another guy. I willingly gave the account for free because I shared all that I wanted to share on that account."
Oh, okay.
Right. So that's the story.
Okay,
that's legit.
That makes sense.
Story.
All right, gotcha.
But as for the color thing, if I'm gonna be real with you, I don't know, because when he showed that color theory thing about mixing and maxing, the first thing that came to my mind was like combining two types into a new type, or like move fusion. Like my mind, like seeing that made my brain basically split. I had no idea what to think. That's pretty much all I have to say on that. Like,
yeah,
it was just a lot for me.
I love the idea of having like Pokemon having hidden typings. I don't know how it could work out. I actually don't know if I'm quoting Soul Silver off a tweet that I read like right before this show or not. But like the whole idea where like if you're, let's say, blue and yellow type, then you're actually going to be red type, or so that'd be fire. Let's say water, electric, fire, whatever. Like, and then however they determine what the hidden type is. I love the idea of a hidden type. And then we were talking earlier about how Legends Arceus and the agile and strong styles, how a function or a mechanic similar to that, how that could work into Scarlet and Violet. I think it would totally make sense if there's like two hidden types you might have, and every time you attack, you get to decide one, or maybe at the beginning of the battle, you get to decide if you want to activate a hidden type. I could totally see that working similar to how the agile and strong styles worked.
Yeah. The way I'm looking at this, right? Like the way I'm seeing this functioning, as far as my brain kind of computing all this, this is how I see it, right? we have the matching colors. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those correlate to typings. Then those typings would then correlate if you have a Pokemon with, let's say, one and another typing, like, let's say, I don't know, fire and, I don't know, grass doesn't exist, fire grass one, but like, I don't know, a fire water type, right? You have that option. Is it then like that mixing those two together? Or like at least, or will this be like, the biggest thing I have a gripe with is this gimmick going to be a universal one like Dynamax or a limited one like Megas? Because if it's limited like Megas, then I can see this ID going really far. So after all that is basically BS. Okay, gotcha, Clips. But so I'm curious, if this is a limited gimmick, right? A la G-Max forms and Megas and like, you know, whatever. Or is it this an overarching thingy like how Z moves worked like for everyone and how Dynamaxing as a whole works for everyone?
Yeah. I don't think I was just gonna say I don't think it's gonna be limited because I remember Masada saying a while ago that as much as he liked Megas, the big takeaway from Megas is that not every Pokemon was evenly shared around that gimmick. It was only fully evolved Mons, and even then it was a select few. That's why Z moves and Dynamax, there's like anyone can use it, but there are certain like Z moves that like Solgaleo or the starters can use. Same with Dynamax, like everyone can Dynamax, but not everyone can Gigantamax. I feel like this new gimmick is going to be for everybody, but a select few will get something unique out of that.
But then,
yeah.
I agree.
Can I just jump in? I'm so excited. I would love, so whatever the new type is, you get that. So the Pokemon, okay, so any Pokemon in battle can do some sort of new type, and then they get an aura around them that corresponds to the color. But then you have a select, let's say 20, 30 Pokemon that have new type or third type forms. Like I can see it in my head. I can see it. I'm playing it right now in 6 months. I'm so excited.
Okay, so wait. Let me get this straight. So you're imagining it, but wait. But what do we do about Pokemon that don't have a secondary typing? Because not everybody has it.
Yeah, that's where it gets confusing.
It would just work differently.
So, but
it
how
would just be
differently?
Like the opposite.
Because the problem with typings is that it gets very complicated, right? It gets very complicated when you get into the minutia of it, right? Because really, realistically, think about it, right? You have a shit ton of Pokemon that only have one type now, but you have a lot of Pokemon that also have dual types. So if the logic behind the mechanic is that a Pokemon with two typings, or you take the two typings and you mix them together to get a third one, right? So I don't know, let's say, like you mix together, what would actually work in this case? So I guess like mixing together maybe fire and steel to get something, or water and steel to get something. I don't know, and like the result might be
like like a magma type.
Exactly. But will this be like I'm wondering, will it be that we get like brand new, like temporary kind of made up new typings instead of like it being called like a fire type? It would be like you said, like a magma type, or instead of it being like a water type, it would be like, I don't know. I'm just gonna make some bullshit up, a surfing type, whatever, right? Is that the case? You're going to make up new ones, or is it more that we're going to just literally get like crazy talks, bro? Well, okay, so I guess we're going nuts then. But like, what is the actual like? How is it going to work? Is it just me, or does it not feel a little too big in scale? Or like you said, is it going to be some sort of aura that you get, right? Some just sort of thing that pops up around you that's like, oh, now you have water and fire elemental powers inside of you. You know, like, is that it, or am I missing something? I don't get it.
I think they're like when introducing a new thing, you want to make it like as simple as possible so you can just sell it. If it's way too complicated, it's gonna play weird. It's gonna sell weird. It's gonna be all over the place. So I think if we're looking at the wheel that you have on the screen right now, literally, I'm just thinking like if you're water fire type, then the water. Like if you activate this effect in battle, then the water becomes bug, let's say, and then the fire would become psychic. So like if you have let's say let's say a Scizor, right? So I'm looking at the chart. There's steel and bug. So steel, you could choose and activate that the steel would turn to poison and the bug would turn to water. So now all of a sudden you have this. Let's say it's a blue and purple aura around Scizor.
That's a balancing nightmare, though.
Is it?
That's it. That's a balancing nightmare, though, isn't it? Like, also, actually,
they're just new.
It'll become worse than Megas. It'll become like way
that just sounds.
But they're just
insane.
new types.
But
Like
that's
it's
the
not
thing.
like you're adding a third type.
No. But it adds such a messed up element. By the way, Ashley Steggles, my boy, thank you for the £9 donation, mate. Hope we get some news of the direct soon, because 3 months on from the real trailer and we have not gotten any promotion is exhausting, to be honest. Mate, trust me, that's literally what we're waiting here. I'm camping Twitter every single fucking day, okay? Every single day, my friend. Every single
Hope
day.
we get some
literally
news of the
camping it.
direct soon,
And
because
Jack
3
and thank you for the
months on from
$2.
the
I just
reveal
want to
trailer,
get
not
a
have any
Gold
promotion
Bar
is
Treasure
exhausting, to be
Ghost
honest.
Pokemon.
Me too.
That would be sick, actually. Yeah, kind of like maybe. Oh, actually, you know what we
I
could
just
do?
want to get a
Could
Gold
take
Bar
Palo
Treasure
Sand and
Ghost
just
Poke.
literally like give it a regional form that's like a chest. You know, what I mean, with gold and shit in it, and just keep the like sand and like gold in there. I think that would be fucking cool. But either way, thank you guys for the donations. By the way, I really fucking appreciate it. But in regards to this, is it just me,
Simple.
or is this like too complicated? Like something here feels too complicated. Like something feels. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm asking. Will they make this a gimmick that's limited to a certain set of Pokemon? Because, as you did mention, though, certain Pokemon do have special Z moves, and certain Pokemon do have Gigantamax forms. But like that's the thing. Those Pokemon are still the special ones, because if you think about Dynamaxing, to me is the equal to nothing, right? Gigantamaxing to me is the gimmick, right? Like Dynamaxing is just exists there to make all the pussy Pokemon feel more special. But the real shit is with the fucking the G-Max boys. You know what I mean?
But they get a stat boost, an
It's
HP
strengthen
and
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It does, sure, but like in comparison to the G-Maxes, does it really make a difference, right? Because it's like those are the ones that are quote unquote special, really, in this case. Like, yes, everybody can Dynamax, but that's the thing. When everybody Dynamax, like if everybody's special, nobody's special. You know what I mean? Like it makes the whole thing like.
I disagree.
I don't know. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I feel like you're saying, yeah, I get the sentiment, but I do think no matter what the playing field is, no matter what the roster, the pool of Pokemon that exist, right, in the metagame, whatever ones are at the top, it's gonna get reshuffled, right? And there's gonna be some Pokemon like Togekiss that directly benefit from the HP boost, right? Like,
yeah, that's
and
fair.
I think
that's
the
fair.
same thing
that's
with
fair.
this. Like, I mean, you could say, oh, it's gonna be. You guys are all saying like, oh, it's too crazy that all the types are going to change. But I mean, that's like right now we have there's a hierarchy. There's a ladder of Pokemon that are better than others because of their types and their stats and everything that makes them unique. And instead, what that's going to do is just reshuffle it. And I think you guys are right that if we get if a Pokemon gets a third type, that's crazy, because now you're dealing with like 8 times effectiveness or whatever.
But
right, that's when it gets crazy. But I think
know
a
what
type
the
swap
problem
no big
is? You know what the problem is, though? It's not even
What?
just about like the balancing issue. It's also a programming issue, because you got to think about it from a game developer point of view, right? You have a set amount of like thingies you can make a certain Pokemon, right? Like they have a database of what everything is, right? So when you input that into like the game, when you input it, that's a voice crack, jeez. When you input it into like the into their chart for each Pokemon, so each Pokemon will have their own like spot, and they'll have their data sheets and everything, and all the information will be in there, right?
What do they call that? Like an index number or something?
I don't know, like, yeah, more or less. But like at the end of the day, right, you will have all this information that's in there. All of a sudden, mid game, they have to like add in for multiple possible possibilities here, right? That like, oh, if this Pokemon has dual typing and it can switch to 2 other typings, now you got to take into account, oh shit, now this Pokemon needs to be able to use these moves as well, possibly, right? Because how will this affect moves? Because if you change typing, like a Pokemon can't always take every move, right? You can't really put like, certain moves on certain Pokemon because the type matchup doesn't match, right? You can't give like Leaf Storm to like a fucking Charizard. It just doesn't make any sense, right? And that's the thing behind it. It doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to work because it's not meant to work. And all of a sudden, it's like you're adding this extra layer of difficulty for developing this as well, which is why I'm trying to like break this down to a smaller scale, something smaller, more realistic. A third typing is actually easier, because a third typing is literally just adding it like in that box. You'll have these 2 boxes. It'll say, oh, this Pokemon is fire and it's bug type. Great. Well, guess what? Just add another box and boom, you're set. But if you're going to be like switching between typings, like at any given time,
if any Pokemon can do it.
Exactly.
It's not switching.
What do you
It's
say?
not switching.
Well,
it's not switching.
Okay, but what do
I
you
know,
think? Is
the-
it just
so, like, the
temporarily
Uncle League-
like what effect does it really have then? Like, what does it actually do? Also, by the way, you guys keep
No.
talking. I gotta go pee real quick because my bladder is full, dude. I've been drinking Capri Sun and shit. By the way, I have one of the last remaining Capri Suns with a fucking plastic straw. Let's go, boys. All right, so
Love
BRB,
that.
you guys have fun.
Nice.
I was gonna
Well-
say, what if it's something like just a new type exclusive to the gimmick, like that symbol we keep seeing in the center of everything.
It could be, and that would be
That's
like
cool.
the
That's the
best
light type.
to me. That would be the best to me. Yeah, it'd be
the-
like a temporary light type would be so sick to me. I want that, but I don't think that's what it's gonna be. We'll
What
see.
if it's what if it's just called something like universal type or something like that? A type that any Pokemon can have.
Aura. It could be aura type.
Yeah,
That too.
I mean,
I
I
think
I'd
that's a
love
cool
it.
possibility. I mean, Soul's kind of. I don't know if I feel like Soul's saying we're all wrong, but I do
No,
like that
I don't.
idea.
I don't really know, but I do have some ideas about it all. But that idea is possible. Any of this is possible. But that's like one of the best ideas to me. And I actually tweeted about it, like the whole crystal type with the cards, like the TCG. I don't know if you guys played it at all.
Yeah,
I'm not a TCG person
The
that much.
color-
I know
either.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, colorless. There you go. So basically,
I feel
like just filling
I feel
that.
like that's it. I honestly, I feel like that's it. Like
So
colorless energy and stuff like that.
It's possible, but then you got to go to like, okay, what's Koo said? You know, that's my rationality always. I'm just like, what's the information that we have?
That's true. Yeah.
Which is just 3 type. That's all we have. Not 3 types, not with the S or anything, just 3 and type. And it's like,
Three
okay.
type. Could it
Yeah,
be?
so like,
Could it be
Go.
a hint at? I mean, are there official like all the symbols that we see on these types? Those visual symbols that we see that's on the screen right now. Like, are those official? Are those canon? Because I'm wondering, like, what if it's visually like, what does 3 type
those-
mean?
those-
is
those
it grass type? Those are official.
those are official. They're new. I forget where exactly from.
Could
They
it
from
be
Go?
3 type? Like, I mean, I guess you could think of it in so many different ways. Fire, water, grass. Those are the first 3 types. I don't know. There's so much. There's really a lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
What do you think, Soul? Like, what do you think it actually really could be? Off the top of your head, like, what are you leaning towards?
Well, so I did actually do like my final prediction thing just for this whole type thing because I didn't think we were going to get any more information on it. And
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff from Eclipse is definitely it adds up. So, but it's hard to figure out. And I mean, I trust them, but then it's also always use a grain of salt. So it's like maybe. But anyway, so what I think is like at its basic root is that we're going to get 3 type Pokemon. So like fire, water, grass, probably never that 3 type together, but maybe we're going to get 3 type Pokemon, but it's like almost like Mega Evolution where you give them something and they gain a type, but it's temporary. It's not like Mega Evolution in that way. It's more like Dynamax. It's like for 3 turns or something. So like that's what keeps
pretty
it simple.
It's
Yeah.
simple. That's what I'm thinking. The way you explain that right now makes it really simple. You get a new form, and rather than it's just like, oh, when Charizard evolves, it gets Dragon type. That's so easy to explain, like in person, right?
Right. The only
That's
problem is
interesting.
the meta of it all. But at the same time, like with what we
I
were
don't think
just
the meta
talking
matters.
about. Yeah. Well, with even if it does, what we were just talking about, like they want to shake it up because it's been the same forever. Like people have just been doing. I watch Wi-Fi battles here and there, but it's the same old same.
Yeah.
They want to change it up. Dynamax wasn't like too groundbreaking,
Nah, it
Yeah,
didn't really change much.
I think that's easy. I mean, you could say type swap is easy, but then it's like, well, how do you know? How do you know what type you're going to turn into? Because you don't have a chart right in front of you.
Yeah,
So,
what if
like,
it's
even the-
randomized?
Yeah, that'd be kind of
Yeah.
cool.
So I don't
Yeah.
think that it's
third
type
type is
swap at
random.
all.
Cyber Knight donated $5 and said something interesting. By the way, thank you for the 5 mate. He said, since Let's Go, they added a thing from Go to the games. One thing they have yet to add are shadow Pokemon, which technically are also a type in Pokemon XD Guild of
Since
Darkness.
Let's Go, they added a thing from Go to the games.
That is
Would
a good
be cool.
point.
Thing
That
they
is a
have
good
yet
point.
to add
Maybe
are
not shadow Pokemon per
which
se,
technically are
but
also
a
a type
similar
in
thing
XD.
behind it, like a similar like concept,
Ruffle,
right? Like a temporary
we were
thing,
saying
right?
aura type. We were saying aura
Oh,
type.
yeah,
Yeah.
but wouldn't that be perfect then, like in a sort of way? Because I was watching a bit of the podcast while I was on the toilet. But either way, I heard a mention of like that the only thing Ku has really said is just 3 typing, right? It's the only thing we really know about, right? Well, I'm thinking about it. What if it is a 3rd typing, as you guys are calling it, an aura of sorts? But does it really have to be an aura? Could not just also be what we already speculated in the past for Sword and Shield, some form of armor, some form of thing that just is added on top of the Pokemon, but that, like, you know, that addition of it adds a layer of typing to it. Like you know, just that armor, you have that on. Oh shit, I'm a water grass type, now I'm a water grass bug type, bitch, come at me, you know what I mean? Or like, or maybe it doesn't even have to be other types, it doesn't even have to be that, it could just be a temporary new made up like type, like just something that doesn't have to be even called a typing, just a temporary new thing, right? Like just of some sort. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. You guys, where were you guys at? I want to just catch up, so what's up?
No, I mean, that's pretty much it. I was just going to start going into what Eclipse was saying, but that also is a very valid point. That armor, the armor like gimmick or whatever, was like a very early idea as well for this one. Everyone's like, you're going to get armor. It was what was cut from Sword and Shield, and you know that you're going to gain a 3rd type, because 3rd type's been from the beginning of this whole thing. I've heard 3rd type. Which is crazy. That's been repeated. I never agreed with 3rd type because it's just it's too wild for me. But now I've heard things, and I'm just like, all right, they're doing it that way. And so for what Eclipse is saying is more how it works, if that makes sense. Like, in my mind, I'm like, it's temporary 3rd types. Now, how do we get temporary 3rd types? And so what Eclipse is saying is basically in the most simple way, because I'm trying to keep it for the children, you know, for the little wee people. I'm just like, you know,
it's important.
It definitely is, but it's just mixing colors. So like, if you think about taking red and blue, and what does that make? You know, so it makes like a purple color, right? So you get
poison type.
You get poison type.
Yeah.
So you'll be fire, or ghost. But the thing is, they will have these things like all lined up and set up like for you. Like there'll be a list so that you can see them. You know, it won't just be like, oh, what do these 2 make? We'll have to figure it out on our own. One of the biggest.
So you could pretty much, so like I'm looking at all the typings, and you classify, maybe there's like only 5 groupings, but like steel, water, ice, flying, dragon, those would all be blue, right? And then you could do like I don't know the pink and red, those in fighting, those could all be red. And then I'm thinking you could make it really simple that way.
Yeah. Like I said, it's very confusing, but and there's multiple theories. That's just the one that seems like the most simple. One of the biggest things that he said, like the first thing he said, was us going back to school, and I think that this is what going back to school is about. Like, us going to school is learning this whole new type system thing.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, bro, like, but that like at the same time, then, like, holy shit! When I'm just feeling like from their side, how would they have had time to implement it?
I thought that too.
Because it is, you gotta understand that is a lot. But of course, it is not a lot if there's not a lot of Pokemon in the game, right? If the limit of Pokemon is to only a few old ones and majority of just new ones, then maybe those new ones are made in such a way that they match well with the system, right?
Maybe that's why the Dex is so huge, to compensate for the gimmick.
Could be, but then I'm just wondering, like, for the love of God, like, what the hell are they doing? Okay.
Here's a theory for you.
This is too complicated for my brain. But yeah, go on. Hit me with that theory.
Here's a theory for you. It's just, it's just
that's what Eclipse is saying.
Going back to school is great for sure, but the theory is just that I think that these games have been like an idea for a very, very long time. I think like they've been working on it for a long time. I think it's been in the background of everything since like I don't even know. Maybe around Gen 5, like concept wise.
That's so cool. When we talk about like recontextualizing and reshuffling how we see these types, like I think about generation, or what is it? I think about the Ultra Beasts, right? I would think what I wanted from the Ultra Beasts were them to like totally shuffle around like all the typings.
Wait a fucking minute. I think Eclipse mentioned that specifically, like the ultra. I don't know what it's called, like what he called it, but like I think he literally mentioned that in chat earlier, like before I went to toilet break. I think he actually mentioned something like about that. Because if you think about it, what even happened with Ultra Beasts? They were just kind of left behind, but they were technically when they were introduced, were a whole brand new thing that they weren't even Pokemon technically, like.
Yeah, that's how they marketed them. They weren't even Pokemon.
Exactly,
like,
but what happened? They just kind of dropped that whole thing. Like, they haven't revisited it with Sword and Shield at all. So, do we have to...
assumed... Yeah, sorry.
Do we have to then assume? Because if you think about it, right? There were then technically 2 gimmicks. Actually, no, 3 gimmicks, if you really think about it. There
are multiple gimmicks in games.
There are 3 gimmicks in Sun and Moon. There is Ultra Beasts. There is regional variants, because that's when they were introduced. They didn't exist before that. People forget that, but that's when they introduced regional variants. That was a gimmick. That was literally a gimmick, because that's what it is.
It was the gimmick.
The gimmick, yes. And then Generation 3... Oh, sorry, what am I saying? Then the third one... Why am I saying Generation 3? But the third one was the Z moves, right? Z-moves was
the fourth one was that there was no more gyms. That was a big deal.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah, there was that too. So the thing is...
Gen 7 is wild.
They could... Yeah, it really is. They could technically recontextualize a lot of how even typings and everything works for this. They could literally just change around their approach for everything in this case. Like...
Bro.
Like, they literally could.
Let's go back to school.
And, I mean, I really think that they are doing a lot of that. But then, at the same time, I think about, you know, the whole open world aspect of it. And it's just like, that's so massive to put on with all of this stuff.
But wait,
you know, like,
oh my god, you're right. Now that I think about
open
it,
world,
my brain just connected the dots. By the way, now that I thought about what you said, Soul, it just makes sense now. Like, I can't get it out of my brain. The idea of we're going back to school to learn the basics, but the basics are new basics. They're not the basics you remember. It's like, it just makes sense. Like it just connected way too well in my head. It's like connected way too well in my head. I hate it. It's like it's connected way too well in my head.
This is from Eclipse, of course, though. So you know, just you gotta like hold on.
Oh yeah,
hold on.
That's fair.
Who's gonna tweet this tonight and be like, "I've seen your podcasts. You're all stupid."
Oh, dude, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know if we carry enough clout though to get Koo's attention. I mean, maybe Soul you do, but I feel like
Soul probably does.
I feel like I'm like a peasant in his eyes, so like I think he stays away from me.
I know. I've been teasing him a little bit, but I probably shouldn't say that.
Oh,
not
dude,
a peasant,
I don't know, dude. I feel like I'm a peasant in man's eyes.
I think,
dude, I would not tease him. I don't mess with him like that, like not ever. Okay. But
in what
it's your
way?
choice.
Like, oh, you mean like mocking him? Because I don't mock him. I just don't get the whole I was so confused by
like
the
his
whole
personality.
Like I'm so confused by the whole I'm gonna be honest. Like we're gonna go down the path of like just being fucking lost. Because I just only really care about can we get some info and have fun with it, right? That's all I care about. Like if we can get information and have fun with it, and I like the riddles. I think they're fun because if we just got info blatantly put in front of us, right? Like if everything was just
I would hate that.
Here you go. Okay, you're getting this, and this. Okay, sure, cool. That would be nice.
The game's over.
But you know what it is then? You get that dopamine rush, and you're fucking done. Now you have to wait for whatever amount of time until you get official news, because once that leaker has leaked all their shit, usually they don't really have much else to leak. So you're fucking stuck. Oh yeah, you have a bunch of info, but you got nothing you can do with it, right? At least this way, it keeps us sane until we get real shit dropping in fucking whatever it does drop. Because if you haven't noticed, they're very slow with releasing actual proper shit. They take a while to give us
anything. Gen 7 days. I missed the Gen 7 days so bad. So bad.
Dude, I don't know if you guys remember.
Every other week, it was like a new release.
I don't know if you guys remember, but Gen 7 was actually really interesting because that game, majority of it ended up leaking. All the Pokemon within it kind of leaked because they gave out that demo of the game. If they literally just didn't give out that's the whole reason that Sun and Moon, they got pissed about that, by the way. But they were dumb enough.
Yeah, that's never happening.
They were dumb enough to literally base the demo on the actual full-scale game for whatever reason. They just decided to be
stuff.
Like,
that kind of stuff makes me literally think that they must do it on purpose because they know it's gonna get data mined and it's like a pub.
But
like that's when I go into tinfoil hat
that's
mode.
the thing. But
I'm a
why?
Pokemaniac.
But why?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, it's so true.
But like that shit to me like feels like he is paid to leak.
I will be right
I don't
back.
know. But like my point is like with Ku, I just never understood the whole like is it just a way for him to say, oh, this is real info when he says the puppy thing? Like puppy, here's your latest meal or whatever the fuck he says.
I feel like it is. He's like weaving Centro into the rumor itself.
Yeah, is it to like fuck with people and to make it like to make you question what you're looking at? Like, is that what it is? I don't get it. Like, I don't understand because it makes me very confused.
From what I understand, like, it's for real, like, against him and Centro, especially at the beginning. Like, he was mad about it.
Yeah, that was
and he was just like, you're stealing my stuff and doing all this and saying that it's you and not me. And, you know, they worked together. They were like, he was providing him all this information and he wasn't getting any of it. Like, he was just like, here, you can take this and get all the glory for it or whatever. And then this just one specific thing, he overstepped. He posted that picture that he didn't tell him to post. And he was just like, this was just for us and all that. So he was mad at first.
Oh, okay.
And now and I mean, I think the anger like kind of just went away for a lot of the time, even in PLA's time. But he just uses it to stay like under the radar. People don't believe him because he does it. Does that make sense? They're just like, this guy's terrible and all this, but he's trying to. I mean, now he's blown up so big that it's really hard. But at first, people were just like discrediting him because they were like, "Yo, this guy is crazy. He's saying all this weird stuff." Yeah, absolutely. But, it's like a shield or a covering. It's totally that.
Because the first time I ever spoke to him was in 2018. By the way, it's the first time I ever spoke to Ku. Yeah, 2018. How
old is
he? I literally asked him back then. I can say it now because it was such a long time ago. I literally asked him info about like a trailer, and man was pretty much correct.
That's great.
Like, he was correct.
What is he looking at it right now?
But like, I've been on good terms with Ku for like since then, like for real. And like the last time, like we spoke, but like, yeah, like I spoke to him and like he was like telling me like, hey, I got no leak info for you. I was like, hey, it's all good, man. Like, you know, it's fine. But I'm looking at like, you know, his stuff, and there was at a point there, that he in the beginning of 2021, like when he started doing like his little, you know, like or so, like some of the stuff he was doing back then, it wasn't instantly that he was like, what do you call it, like that his riddles were being picked up as much, right? In the beginning.
Definitely.
Because I remember I started covering them at that time, and that was before it blew him up. But then after a while, like, you know, his, like, you guys remember that collage he had, right? That's kind of what got the ball rolling. But before that, I remember talking to him, totally chill guy, by the way. Whenever I asked him something, everything was chill. But I just know that he had info in the past. I just didn't know when it was what, because he would tell me, oh, it's not nothing. I got nothing, right? I got nothing. So I didn't know, like, oh, is he actually got shit, or is he fucking with me? Like, what is happening? But I'm gonna just say, let's see, your mic is low and his volume is loud. Could be having to adjust depending on who's talking. Really? Who's louder? Like,
yeah, who's loud?
Who's louder? Like, is it me? I'm the loudest.
Let me see, because I've got Cam on 133%, like pretty high, like amount right now. To make sure.
Oh,
in case
133.
Yeah, 133.
How do I sound?
You sound fine. Like your volume for
1, 2, 3. Check.
I turned you up to like a bit higher as well, and already had Soul also like boosted up a bit to make sure that you guys can hear him. Weird. But either way, so I don't know. I just know that like Ku, he's just doing his thing. And I trust his info. As for what he does, like the weird, like,
absolutely,
the weird fights he has with Central ain't my fucking business. All right, whatever, you know, if they want to have
the bottom line.
Listen, if they want to duke it out, I'm all good. If anything, I think it'd be sick to have a leaker like boxing fight or some shit. Okay, like they both just put on like dude, Ku just puts on a fucking mask that has his R Riddler thing on it and fucking.
But they have to do it on Nintendo Arms.
Oh my god! But like, dude, it'll be like honestly, fuck it.
Have a smoke on battle.
Apparently,
Yes,
whoever said
please.
1, 2, 3 check apparently has low volume. Who was that?
That was
That was
me.
Dusty.
Okay,
Low
shit.
volume?
Well, yeah, apparently. I don't know. Or is it too high volume? I don't know. People aren't really giving me a lot of concrete info here.
How's it going, guys? It's Dusty Go Goat. Welcome back to my headcanon.
So
Is that
see,
too loud?
I can't
Really
tell
so
if that's
loud.
them saying that's
Their
loud
ears
or
right
not.
now.
I'm very confused. But either way, so Ku's a confusing guy. That's all I know. But I fucking love him because he gives us like something to keep us happy and excited for a while.
Because of him, I've been able to boost my channel, so it's all good stuff.
Oh
I gotta,
my lord!
you know.
How long have we been doing this for? We've been live for about an hour so far. Which I'm gonna be honest, this has felt like 2 hours already. Like
I think it is
feel
two.
like
on.
is it? Because on my thing
Yeah,
it says
2.
only really because it only says an hour on my thing here. Maybe it's like incorrect. Yeah, it only says I've been live for 1 hour, which is weird.
No, it's been 2 hours.
30.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
I got 159.
because it's been a while. But I want
Should we talk about the Pokedex?
we can either do that or we can talk about like our thoughts on Detective Pikachu 2 because there was that Pokemon Mysteries
Yeah.
logo which still hasn't been debunked. So
I'd rather leave the decks out for now if that's. I mean, because that's going to be
it is a big one.
another hour.
We can talk about it next week.
Yeah, we have next
Yeah.
week. You know,
Well, next week I don't even know what's happening, but yes,
Oh
next
my
week's gonna
God.
be wild.
Eclipse, by the way, saying I would have a stand-in in the fight called Ball Guy. Oh my lord, dude. All right, but let's maybe like finish it off then with Detective Pikachu 2 here, right?
Right.
And also, if you guys want to talk about the Hisui anime, because I still haven't seen that one just yet.
I haven't seen it either.
But okay, well then we can
Oh,
take
y'all
that one
should
next.
watch it.
We'll watch it next week then. We'll watch it throughout the week
Yeah.
and we'll talk about it next week then. I think that would be great. But let's do Detective Pikachu 2 as our kind of final one. So let me
You
start
gonna
with
do
this.
questions too, or
Well, yeah, we'll do questions at the end as well if people have anything
Okay,
they're
cool.
going to ask. But just for like the topics, we'll be like doing
What
this
if
one as the final
Pokemon
one.
Mysteries is the new anime?
And Cyber Knights, thank you for the $2, man. What if Pokemon Mysteries is the new anime? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that's fake.
I
I don't think so. You think the logo is fake?
Yeah,
Or-
I do.
Really? Okay. Is it because you have some
I
inside
don't.
information that it's
No,
fake,
I have
or-
nothing. I
or
got
is it-
nothing.
okay,
I just
okay.
think it looks fake to me.
Oh, I don't know. It looks real to me in a weird way. I feel like I believe it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I believe
The
it.
Japanese one looks more fake to me. Like the English one looks real. The Japanese one, you look at it's like a little.
That's fair.
I don't know if you follow Poka Sutami too.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah,
was
yeah.
like, "This Japanese logo looks weird," and I was like, "Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
okay. Fair
It
enough.
gives me mobile game vibes, to be honest.
Yeah.
It does. It does."
But it's confusing because as far as I know, that the whole of Nintendo, like all of course, Pokemon Company Game Freak is a different entity, but like I think all of like everything under the Nintendo umbrella, I think they're stepping away from mobile games. And I think that's the whole
Yeah.
the whole logic behind the whole company. They're stepping away from it because of the lack of success they've seen with all their mobile titles. Which like the Dr. Mario mobile game failed.
My mom loved that.
They all did.
My mom is a Facebook mom, and the Dr. Mario game was like her bread and butter. She loved that game so much, and she was so mad when it got shut down.
Well, that's the
That's
thing,
awesome.
It just wasn't making enough Mula at the end of the day. That's all that like they decide all that shit based on what makes cash. And JW95, thank you for the €5, mate. Could it be complementary colors? Opposite colors on the wheel, blending together, type swap with opposite type, and choose one to swap with double types.
Could
It
be.
could.
Could
Could.
be. It could be. Yeah.
We really don't know.
That's the problem. Yeah, we
know
just don't know.
mixing types. We know mixing to make a third type, not like a new type, but a third added type.
That's all
That's
we
what we
all
know.
we know is that there is some sort of third added typing in some way or shape. That's as far as we know. We just know that we have 3 and typing. That's as far as we've gotten so far. But before we get into questions, let's finish it off with Detective Pikachu 2. So we already talked about the mystery thing. Oh my god, what the fuck was that? Too many fucking Capri Suns. Don't drink Capri Suns, kids. They make you fat. Either way, so I just want thoughts and opinions on this because I've been hearing these conflicting
be
thoughts
complementary colors,
and opinions
opposite colors on a
and
wheel
points
blending
made by multiple different
Type
people,
swap with opposite
specifically
type and choose one to swap with double
about
types.
Detective Pikachu 2, that it's cancelled or not cancelled or whatever. I don't know if it's cancelled or not. I haven't seen any real confirmed information that it is cancelled. But what do you guys think? Because they did announce that one a long time ago now.
Was there something that happened recently? Like, was there like an announcement like today or yesterday or recently?
No. But like that's the thing, we don't know what's happened to it. Like it's one of those games that like it's just no info. It's just been
Yeah.
dead in the water. Same like
it's
Sleep.
been AFK.
Yeah, but the difference is, though, it's mostly like the reason I think we bring it up is because of the whole like Pokemon Mysteries logo that came out. Because the only thing I can connect Mysteries with is literally Detective Pikachu.
I didn't even see that.
Oh, that was I covered it a few days ago now.
Blazing Incineroar has it on Twitter. I can link it.
Because the movie was canceled, apparently, like the second movie, right?
Yeah,
the movie was definitely canceled.
The movie was
That's
canceled.
Sad.
But
the movie was canceled,
really?
but the game isn't. That's the thing.
they never announced the game being canceled. No,
Why was the movie canceled? I thought they were gonna. I thought that they could do a whole bunch of different things.
I think
It did really well too.
Not actually.
Yeah.
No, not actually. Not
And with the
actually.
success of
You might think it actually did really well, but I think if I remember correctly, the box office was like 200 million for it. If I might be wrong, but I think box office Detective Pikachu. I'm gonna check. No, actually, no, it's double that. Sorry, 433 million, which is actually good. Yes, that's very good. But I think the cost of it, though, the cost of making it, was like a pretty fucking high number. Like to the point, yeah, budget was 150 million, right? So for it to make profit, you need to make double the budget, right? So that's just to break even, right? So you got to make that. So they essentially, if they make 300 million, they've broken even. They made their money back. But then on top of that, they made 30 million as a overhead top, like that's what they essentially ended up making from this movie, because that's the way you kind of have to look at them in terms of the box office, money and all that sort of stuff.
Could it have been canceled temporarily, like during the pandemic, and maybe like
could be that,
or the alternative could be like maybe they don't want to continue with Detective Pikachu, but instead like they have another live action Pokemon movie that ties into the same universe.
That's it. I think it has more to do. This is what I was trying to get to. I think it has more to do with the Netflix series that's supposed to be being the making.
I remember that.
What? I don't know about any of this.
This was announced. This was announced a while back now that there's a Pokemon Netflix series that is supposed to be like a live action one. This was announced a while back, and I don't know if it was canceled or not, but here's what it said. Netflix is reportedly developing a live action Pokemon show. Variety dropped the news in late July 2021, noting that sources have confirmed the series is in its early phases of production, though Netflix has yet to confirm this.
When was this?
So this was
July last year.
I
remember hearing about that.
I remember this.
And it's
this
just
was
a report.
Yeah, this was a big one because it kept popping up for a while there that it was going to happen, and I remember every outlet was covering it. And what I'm thinking is it possible that the idea of like maybe Detective Pikachu 2 just also by the way, Detective Pikachu 2 just as an ID, I don't think really could work. If you really think about it, I don't think it works.
I mean,
because if you watch the movie, you know what happened at the end, right? Like the whole
that's the. I was gonna say that's the thing.
Yeah.
The movie, the game ended on a cliffhanger, and the movie literally solved every plot point that the game set up.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think they can make a sequel because there's nothing else to use as material unless they make a whole new mystery.
Exactly.
Okay,
Eclipse,
so I'll give you.
Eclipse said Detective Pikachu 2 ? It's still on the work.
Yeah, so I agree with Eclipse because this you guys must have missed it, but Centro actually posted an article from one of the developers, and I didn't know we were going to talk about this. I did, but I wasn't sure if we were going to. But
Okay.
I didn't pull it up. But Centro's got an article from one of the developers that says the Detective Pikachu is still very much like being developed, and it's like going to graphically be amazing, like next level graphics, like what they want to put into all of their Pokemon games, basically.
It'll look
So
like
it's like
Pokemon Snap, maybe.
I think even better. I don't know what they're expecting. It was like it's kind of hurts in a way, if that's not the right word, but I don't know if you guys saw that one tweet that was going around with like the little Kanto Sugimori style game.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that
everyone
looks so
retweeted
cool.
it, right?
I
Right,
know.
that looks awesome, and that's like what we want as fans, right? But what they're saying about Detective Pikachu 2 was we're going for like the movie realism, like in this game.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I don't know if that means like we're gonna have like weirdo Greninjas or like
Okay,
That was
so
terrifying.
now if we take a look at the antagonist and the art style, the protagonists, of Scarlet and Violet and how more human they look and how less Pokemon style they look. That does. I'm like, if there's any correlation or any truth to that, I'm not gonna be happy.
Have you seen the graphics in this game? Like, have you seen the textures on that on those fucking on that Viper, my dude? Have you seen the shininess on that fucking Voltorb?
Yeah.
Ooh, no Voltorb, sorry, Magnemite. Ooh, that shit is looking tight. Okay,
I gotta see Ludicolo before I make a decision.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That thing looks crazy in the movie. It's
Bro,
like furry,
I want to
right?
see Singles.
They've done a great job though with like I'm gonna be honest. If anybody bitches about the graphics in Scarlet and Violet, then they just need to fucking throw themselves out a window because get the fuck out. Come on. They like people bitched about the trees in Sword and Shield. If they're gonna bitch again, then they're really out of their depth because
Bro, the same people who complain about the trees in Scarlet and Sun and whatever it's called, Sword and Shield, are the same people who love Majora's Mask and say it's the best Zelda game.
But dude,
get out of here.
Listen, I don't even have an issue with complaining about the graphics, but you can't complain about them now when they actually do look good. Like, you can't make the argument, and you can't be like, oh, but it isn't the same level as Elden Ring, and it doesn't. Well,
it's not supposed to be that.
Yeah, exactly. You can be like, oh, but it doesn't look as good as Star Citizen. Like it.
Your expectations about a Pokemon game are not that doesn't determine what they're making. Yeah.
But like the thing is, Sword and Shield doesn't look good, but Scarlet Violet fucking does. I don't care what anybody says. It actually does look good. It actually does look good, no matter what way you twist it.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm ready for a tropical region.
But that's interesting though, Soul, because I didn't know that was the case. That he had like that there was an article with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right now
because I haven't heard
anything
about that, like whatsoever. I haven't seen anything about that.
No, it was on Twitter. I reposted it and said some stuff about it, but it was before. Yeah, it was like December.
Oh yeah, see that's the thing. Like some of that stuff can just like fly under the radar. But
totally, because it was around the whole like we're getting hype for what's next. Like PLA's coming, all that.
Yeah.
You know what the problem is though, with a game like Detective Pikachu 2 is it's gonna fail no matter how good it looks. It's just gonna.
I mean, I don't want it.
The first Detective.
I don't want it either.
Detective Pikachu, the first game. I'm sorry, I couldn't finish it because I was just
not.
It was so tedious. It was so tedious because it's like literally like removing anything of what Pokemon really is, right? Which is the capturing, the battling, the collecting, and all that shit. Remove all of that, and just put you into a on the rails. Really childish mystery game, okay?
I could not say it any better myself. When was the last time detectives were cool?
Dude, it's not even
the gameplay was
listen, last time Sherlock Holmes from the BBC, fucking sick. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing show. But here's the problem.
When was that?
That show's actually interesting though, because it actually like has interesting depth to it. How deep can a Pokemon game get? Oh my God! The ones who stole the giant Pokemon egg were those Manaphies over there. Oh no! It's like
let's go talk to the Murkrow.
Like, exactly. It's like
who
oh my
cares?
God! I think the Ambipoms are stealing our berries. Let's find all the clues, children. It just feels like Dora the Explorer, but like on steroids. My point is, it there's not enough there. At least Pokemon Snap has some level of gameplay to it. Detective Pikachu was just. Oh, it just wasn't.
I don't know who it's for. Like, why does it exist?
I almost want to do a retrospective on that game. I almost want to like play it, just force myself through it, just so I can do a video talking about who thought this was a good idea. Who thought this?
Do it on your new channel.
But like, dude, I
do
probably
it on
will.
Twitch.
I probably will. But you know what I'm thinking of though is like, who thought that was a good idea? Because. Like,
did it sell well?
The problem is, I don't think so. Actually, let me check that. Detective Pikachu game.
I bet Verlisify plays it.
Oh my God! Don't bring that's name. Do not bringeth thy name up.
He's one of our peers.
Listen. So apparently, reception in Japan, the game sold 121,000 copies, including 94,000 retail sales and 27,000 digital eShop sales. So it's
1,000, not even million.
No, 121,000 in Japan. That's the total scope of the game in Japan. Now remember, that's just Japan, but let's be realistic here. If it doesn't even sell 1 million in Japan, it hasn't even gotten like to the lowest of a mainline game.
Hasn't even gotten to 1 million?
let's see what it total.
Jeez.
I want to know what the total sales are because it doesn't actually mention it anywhere. It debuted at number 23 in the first week during March 2018, before rising to number 15 the following week with a 76 sales increase, increase. It was also number 12 on the UK's 3DS platform chart in November 2018. It doesn't actually mention anywhere here though. But the thing is, it was rated pretty high though. I'm sorry, just to me, it was just boring. I remember playing it and being bored. Just being bored.
Yeah, obviously sales number don't determine whether or not a game is good or not. But obviously, like that for a Pokemon game, that number seems so low that it's like what we're saying. Yeah, it's like who? It's not like is it good or not? It's like who is it for? Why does it exist? No one wants it, obviously.
Let's see. So I'm looking at I'm trying to find the full sales. So here, okay, I think I found it. I think the total sales of this game were 470,000. So not even 500,000. 470,000, and the average score for the game is like a 7 out of 10, is what it scored. And the whole selling point of the game was animated cutscenes. Like that was a big.
Yeah.
Like, they literally they advertised it as experience over 150 animated cutscenes of a fun and witty talking Pikachu.
Ooh, here's an idea. What if we're talking about all these games being test grounds, right? For new features. What if that was a test ground for maybe for Sun and Moon? I don't actually know when those came out, because Sun and Moon actually had a lot of cutscenes as well.
This came out Ultra Sun.
Maybe that's something we're gonna see
around the Ultra Sun and Moon time frame, when Ultra Sun and Moon was coming out. This came out afterwards. So
I remember it was a fully voice acted game with quick time events.
Yep.
It was voice acted too.
Fully voice acted.
Yeah, that was the whole selling point, was like that. Oh, it's got like Pikachu talking and shit, whatever. That's like there's a whole selling point of it, which I don't know, but that's the problem. It's like, it's one of those games like there are games like this that work, but again, it needs to have a level of intrigue. If you're a child, maybe you would enjoy it, but holy shit, even me as a child, like seeing a talking Pikachu, I would get bored after a while. Like it's just, there's not like enough gameplay there. You know what I mean? There's okay, I will give you an example like this, right? There are like horror games, right? There are simple horror games like Five Nights at Freddy's, where you sit in a fucking room. Well, not the latest one, but like the original ones, right? You sit in a room and you have to watch a bunch of cameras, right? Not the most intuitive of shit ever, but at least like it has some level of gameplay where you got to manage your cameras and all that shit to not be jump scared to survive, 5 nights or something, right?
That's there's an interesting story.
Exactly.
And there's replayability. With a story like this, it's like you're watching a movie.
But that's the thing. At least there's that element. There's those elements of like, oh, you got a bit of fear because you're scared of being jump scared. There's that level of like, you got to keep, you at least got to do something. There's at least a gameplay to it. With this,
you're saying there are stakes.
Exactly. There is no stakes in this game. The stakes are literally just a bunch of quick time events, which if you fail, you can retry right afterwards. Okay. Sure, every game gives you a retry, but this game in particular, it doesn't come with anything. You don't lose anything for not achieving it. But that's also the problem. What children want to fucking play that? I'm sorry, but holy shit, especially kids today. You know what children play today? They play Fortnite, okay? Where they build towers in 2 seconds that are bigger than my fucking IQ, okay? So my point is, children don't even fucking want that anymore, okay? Like, I have siblings who play fucking games, and they're really young, and they play shit like Minecraft rather than than Detective Pikachu, for crying out loud. Like, the game just...
What are the odds? Like, what are the odds we get voice acting in Scarlet and Violet?
I don't think so.
I don't think
so. I don't think so.
Wait, I can't remember. But did the new Snap have voice? It didn't, did it?
Yes, it did.
It did. Okay, it did. So that's okay. Listen, if that one did, because I don't remember, because I always play the games on mute because I have problems with my streams otherwise. But if it did have voice acting, then it does give me a bit of a feeling that it might be in this game, that there might be voice acting, just because of the fact that the models are the identical ones they used for like in style, not in exactly the same ones, but they're the identical style as the ones from Snap, which makes me feel like maybe they're gonna take that step finally and do it like.
I feel like if they do want to do voice acting, the appropriate time would be now, since we got a tiny taste of that in Legends Arceus, because our player characters will like grunt and like yell if they got attacked or stuff. Yeah. And like if they sound a move, they'll go like huh or ha or stuff like that. Like that's the closest we've gotten to a mainline game ever being voice acted.
True. Yeah, exactly. I don't even think they need and I don't even know if I want full on voice acting, because I don't know. I just feel like it probably won't be as cool as hearing whatever voice is in your head. But as long as they like, I don't know, as long as they give us something, maybe it's like Animal Crossing, right, where it's like you hear a voice, a sound,
like,
just to give a little bit of context.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be so silly.
I was gonna say, I remember in the interview, Masada said that the reason why Pokemon games don't have voice acting is because he wants the player to imagine what the character would sound like.
Oh yeah, that's fair. But that's also just
and that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense on a DS. But I mean, come on, it's an HD console.
We're so long past that. Also, Crimson, thank you for the $10 donation, man. My kid plays Animal Crossing and Lego games. Never ever play Fortnite, kids. It's trash. That's a fair point. But see, even the Lego games, but that's the difference. At least the Lego games have gameplay to them, and even Animal Crossing has gameplay to it.
That's true, yeah.
Detective Pikachu is just literally, like, it's like being put on a Disney ride, or some shit, or like a carnival ride, but it's the most boring one where nothing happens.
Crossing and
you know what
Lego
I mean?
games.
It's just
Never
that's all it
play
is. It's
Fortnite,
like
kids.
it's a roller
It's
coaster
trash.
without the roller coastering. You know what I mean? Like that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
There's nothing to it. That's the big problem, right? So if I think about it, if they're making a Detective Pikachu 2, if they want it to like actually happen, if it's still being worked on, I'm guessing that because they must have found some way to pitch this shit to like the Pokemon Company executives. They must have found some way to be like, listen, they're gonna be like, but you only sold 470,000. That's not enough to cover the cost of this shit game. What the fuck do you mean you want to make a second one? It's like,
I'm
listen,
done with it. I'm done with it, man.
It's like, they'll be like, but listen, we're gonna make it look really good. We're gonna make it look really good.
Maybe they're gonna change the gameplay this time around. Give it like a cool gimmick to make you.
That's what we're hoping for, right? That's what we're hoping for. I mean, I'm like, we're literally like seeing like somebody saying like, yes, Snap is literally a Disney ride. It is, but you know what the difference is? It actually has some gameplay to it. Like there is at least like the whole idea of taking the photos and throwing the fucking berries. At least there's that. With this game, I don't know what it is, but like it just felt so. I don't know. It was just it was a childish story. It wasn't really like, I don't know. It's just kind of boring. The game was just kind of boring. Also, what's with all these bots today? Holy shit. Got a lot of bots today. Holy crap.
I was gonna say like Detective Pikachu has definitely been the weirdest like side game besides like, I don't know, like pinball. Because you think of games that deserve a sequel, like, I don't know, like Conquest and stuff, because Conquest was super cool. That was a super cool game.
Conquest was sick, dude.
And like I see people in the chat asking for like Poke Park, or like somebody said like the Pokemon channel remake that for Switch. Those would be really cool. Detective Pikachu feels like the weirdest contender for a like sequel, because I want to see them do like, I don't know, like somehow bring back I was gonna say that like Ranger or like a new Mystery Dungeon game that isn't a remake of the Rescue Team games.
To me, I've got a couple ideas, but like to me, I feel like we didn't get an actual remake, or we didn't get like a sequel to Ranger, but I feel like Legends Arceus, you are essentially a ranger, right? You're helping Pokemon, you're helping people, you're exploring the region. It's a completely different game style. I mean, obviously they're different titles, but that's just something I was thinking about.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. Mystery Dungeon DX, so that was like the Rescue Team remake, sold 1.26 million copies, which is like drastically more than the Detective Pikachu game, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And like justifying there being another one afterwards, if the, of course, cost of making one isn't that massive, which I don't think it is for Mystery Dungeon games, because most of it is just like, I feel like
random.
It's just randomly generated dungeons, which is very simple. You have just a few assets you got to make. Like, sure, it still takes a while. I'm not gonna like act as if it's not.
Yeah, you have to make a game.
You still have to make it.
Yeah, but people eat that up though. People love Mystery Dungeon.
Spam is getting ridiculous. Well, listen, Goddess Smooth. I see you in the chat. I am just simply spamming a channel. I just want voice acting in the cutscenes. Same. That's what I would love. I'd love that. I think that'd be sick. But the reason I'm spamming in chat is because you guys should go and subscribe to Camtendo. Get him to 1K subs, guys. Come on. Fucking do it, guys. Come on, do it, or I'll be very angry. But yeah, for real, guys. Come on. Go and. I will
be very happy if you subscribe to me.
Oh my Lord.
Guys, so I'm thinking like the what is it called? The NSO, right? We're gonna get a whole new wave. The leak is that we're gonna get a whole new wave of Game Boy Advance games, and there were some spin-offs on there. Maybe that will give them some new data of like which games people actually want to play again. I mean, I want to, dude. I don't know about you guys. I want a Pokemon pinball Scarlet and Violet. Give me that. That'd be awesome.
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Be wild.
I want a more like high quality with like 3D models Conquest game. That's what I want. Like I want to see Conquest a la like Fire Emblem. That's what I want to see. Like I want to see that. Because that would be fucking sick, dude.
A new Conquest game, because Conquest stories are sick. Like I don't know if you guys have played Conquest, but the story of Conquest it gets wild.
Yeah, but it literally is like, oh yeah, let's just take fucking Pokemon and put it in Edo era Japan and just like let's fucking do that because why not? Like let's just literally like just fucking put it in the past. It did Legends Arceus before Legends Arceus, but even more extreme.
it was amazing.
Oh man, but like I really think they should like try to fucking like go back and do that, like just do a Conquest. Not maybe if they don't want to make a brand new one, a remake at least. I want to see a remake in like high quality fucking 3D models and shit. I want to see all that fucking crap. I want to see fucking Nobunaga again, boys. Okay, I just want to see fucking Nobunaga, right? That's all I want. But but that like my point is, okay. We have been going on this stream for like what? We've been live for almost 2.5, 3 hours almost.
We're on the 3rd hour right now.
So
this has been fun.
I think we should wrap up the topics and get into viewer questions. So you guys can ask questions in the chat, and we will kind of just pick them out and answer them as we go. So you guys can just if you have any questions for any particular like individual, so if it's whether it be for me or Dusty or Cam or Soul. Just leave it in the in the chat and let us know. And we'll try.
I got a question for Soul Silver.
Oh, all right,
go ahead.
What if you start a YouTube channel? What content would you make?
Oh, it'd probably be the same stuff. The same stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
fair enough.
I don't know what else I can say.
Fits into the.
Do you have any
I've been
interesting
thinking about
ideas?
it, Yeah,
because you could do a lot of cool stuff.
Doing this stuff, like doing this podcast, definitely makes me think about it. Just because I have like, you have so much to say, and there's like all of us, so we're all sharing time. But then when you're on your own, you're like, okay, I can say a whole lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm not the most, with talking. Talking isn't my strongest.
Good gamers asking like what channel when. Well, we'll see, right? Like you'll take your time.
Yeah, we'll see. You can always go follow me on Twitter because I'm trying to hit 10K out there.
Hey, wait, what are you on right now?
Dude, I'm almost at 8.
Oh shit, dude, you're growing fucking fast on Twitter, bro. Like I've been, dude, I don't know, I've been whack on the Twitter game, dude. Like I don't know, like I'm so bad at it. But recently, I don't know, I've been doing pretty well recently. I don't know what it is. I've just been tweeting random shit that I just see.
I mean,
oh fuck it.
Yeah. I'm putting so much work into it. I'm just like every day, like tweeting.
Oh, dude, I see you, man. I see you up there. I see you. Yo, Nikachu, what's good, man? How you doing, buddy? What's up, mate? How you doing? Didn't you switch? Like, didn't you switch over to what do you call it? I think I saw you did Animal Crossing videos now, right? I think you switched to Animal Crossing videos. Just remember seeing like some of your Animal Crossing videos like on my fucking feed a while back. Will you eventually upload these episodes on POKEMANIACS? Yes. As soon as this is over, the full podcast is going to be going up, as well as we're going to be doing like little clips out of it. I think Dusty.
I'll be taking. I'm going to be tackling all the clips.
Yep.
This will be fun. Hopefully, we can get a whole bunch of new people involved.
Yep. And so we got that. Yeah, subscribe to Camtendo right now, guys. Yes, you can fucking do it. Get this man to 1K, guys. He's so close. It's only 60 subs. We have enough people in here to get him there. It's just you guys.
Yeah, it's at 9:41 right now.
Dude, you guys just being difficult. But guys, come on. If you support this channel, if you like this podcast and you want this podcast to keep going, and you want just want to show love, then do me that little favor. Go subscribe to this man. Get him to 1K. I want him to get to 1K because it just looks nice and it feels cool to have him at 1K. I'm just trying to help my man out. I don't know what words to use anymore.
I was just gonna say maybe you can link it in the chat. Maybe I'll link it. I don't even know how do you link.
But Nika said apparently I'm good. I'm doing good. OMG, you are right. I did move to Animal Crossing, but now I'm back to Pokemon. Now that Animal Crossing hype died off, I'm back to Pokemon. Fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Do you guys know anything about the podcast?
I do. That's the guys who were members of Mudkip Memo's Discord. They kind of.
Oh, really?
Yep. They kind of like
I didn't know that.
They created their own like little podcast to run in honor of like a Memo and like just kind of keeping the community alive there.
I'll have to go check that out. Someone's asking about that. That's why I brought it up. They want to know if we could ever get together with them. I'll have to go listen to their stuff.
The guy who runs it is legit for sure. He's always commenting.
Let me see. Wait, I missed something in chat. So let's see. Where am I? What am I looking at? No lies, blackmail. Nikachu name sounds so wrong. Lamel. Oh, well, I don't know, man. I mean, like he chose his name whatever way he wanted to. But I'm trying to see some of these questions people have. So, what is your take on the next Legends game? So, I guess we can quickly answer that. What do we all think about the next?
Yeah.
Like, what do we think is going to be the next one, if there even is one? But if there is one, what do we think? Do you
feel like I know everybody wants Johto. I feel like Universe next personally.
Really?
Since it's next in line for a remake, I feel like Unova might get the Gen 4 treatment, but hopefully the Gen 5 remake looks better than BDSP. Personal opinion.
I'm gonna say it like this. I think it's Nico plus Pikachu. Nikachu? Oh, okay, gotcha.
I subscribe to Nikachu.
But what do you call it? I think it's Johto, okay? Because SoulSilverArt right today, I thought about asking you something, but I don't know if you'd appreciate it or whatever. Hit me up in private whenever you want. Okay, so Clips wants to talk to you. So
I'll hit him up.
But either way, so no, but to say something, I don't think it's gonna be Unova games next, and the reason why is pretty straightforward, if I'm going to be honest, for at least in my mind. It's that Gen 5 remakes are not supposed to happen this generation. There's not supposed to be technically any main remake this gen. I think that this gen is supposed to be just, new gen games.
Gen 9, yeah.
Exactly, Generation 9. And then I'm thinking maybe a Let's Go type game happening. That's what I said. I think that if there isn't DLC next year, which, by the way, this is a topic I wanted to talk about earlier, but I totally forgot about, which is why I think we're never going to see DLC again, personally. But to start with this, I think next year, DLC, whatever, third version game, and then after that, Let's Go Johto type game plus Legends Johto. That's what I personally think. But
I can see that. I can see a combination of like an Ilka made game that's like Let's Go. I can see something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be something close to that. The only interesting thing is that, with Eclipse here, he was actually, and I could have got this wrong because of how he worded it, but he was saying something about Gen 5 being sooner than we think.
He did.
So I don't know.
He did say that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know if that, I think Let's Go Johto or something like Johto Remake for sure. There's going to be something like that.
I think so.
Can I just jump in here? I kind of think that the other option that no one's talking about is that we get Gens 1, 2, 3, maybe not 4, but maybe 4. Gens 1, 2, 3, 4 all get ported just straight up to the Switch. And then it's like you don't need to remake Johto. You don't need to pour resources in that. Right, and you can just jump to Gen 5. That's an alternative.
Well, there is a thingy actually. They did test the GBA emulators.
I forgot about that.
That is a thing, by the way. They did test the emulators for Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Fire Red, Leaf Green, as well as I think Pokemon.
That was in the data mine, right?
Cross, yeah. Those were tested, and they were like within the files and all that. So I don't think that they would do it that with the way you just described. I don't think that would happen in the way like you'd imagine it.
Well, I don't understand why. I personally just don't understand that.
Like,
why would that not work?
Because I think that how do I explain this? Sorry, my brain is like being fucking numb right now.
I just don't understand. I don't understand the tech side of video games. So
no, because it's not about if it's not possible, but basically, as far as I'm getting it, they would be willing to re-release the first 3 generations or whatever, on the Switch in form of maybe part of what do you call it, the monthly
Mario
subscription.
game.
Yeah, I don't know, the monthly
okay.
subscription thing, right? Whatever it is, something
NSO.
Exactly alongside that. But here's the thing, right? If they do that, then they can't do what you mentioned, which is to release, all of the ones, and then they don't have to do a remake or et cetera or whatever. I just don't think that's the case. At least that's the way I understood it. Like,
who knows? I'm just trying to think of ways that like we could jump to Gen 5 because man, if that comes sooner than later, that'd be really exciting.
Well, it could happen.
I mean, we're already at Gen 5 technically. Like it's next.
Yeah, it is next. It is
in line
next. But the thing is, you know, I feel like that's one of the things that they have been following. That was a loud car. That's the one thing that I think they have been following in terms of actually a pattern. They have been following the idea of every other generation is when we get a remake. Like that hasn't shifted.
You know the crazy
like you can say, but let's go Pikachu and Eevee, but no, it doesn't count because we're talking about
that's a reimagining.
We're talking about the main line. No, that's also a remake, pretty much. I'm talking more about I'm talking more about like the main line remakes, right? The main line remakes are the following ones: Fire Red Leaf Green, Heart Gold Soul Silver, Omega Ruby
like
Alpha
every
Sapphire,
console.
and BDSP. Those are the main line, remakes. I don't think we're going to see Gen 5 mainline remake until Generation 10 because that has stayed consistent. I think we're going to have to wait until Generation 10. Now, at what point then will it happen? I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe Eclipse knows something we don't know. Maybe it will happen earlier. But then I'm wondering why? Why all of a sudden shift away from that when you've kept that consistently going for a decade now? Like, you know, for over 2 decades, you've been keeping that formula going. Why now change it? Is it because of the success of BDSP? Is it that's causing it? Like, what is it?
The only thing I can think of is that they want to release a game every year. That's the main thing I'm thinking of.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense because then they can't. Like then they've run out of it. Okay, because by leaving it until Generation 10, you're offshooting it, right? Like you're offshooting. What do you call it? You're offshooting the remakes for another 3 years? No, actually no, more than that. You're offshooting those remake games for almost 5 years, so you can fill those other 5 years with other shit. So here's the timeline I'm seeing, right, is the following one. You've got this year Scarlet Violet, next year I don't know, third version or DLC, right, happening. Then after 2023 DLC, whatever. 2024. What I'm seeing in 2024 is a Johto type game, and then a Legends Johto game, right? So just doing the same thing they just did with BDSP, but just replacing BDSP with a secondary remake rather than a mainline remake, right?
Johto, it's coming.
And then Johto fits perfectly because then they don't have to do anything else. They literally have mainline games they can do, and they can just capitalize on that. They can easily do that. It just fits in perfectly. It's like it just slots in perfectly there. And guess what happens after that? Okay, so you got Let's Go Johto, whatever. Like not actually Let's Go. I call it Let's Go Johto because it's the easiest way to explain it.
Totally.
Like a BDSP type Johto game, right?
It's a simple remake.
A simple remake. Yes, exactly. A simple remake plus a Legends game because I feel like they've seen now that those two combos work. And you know what I have to do after that? Okay. Generation 10. Exactly. Yeah, Generation 10, boom. Generation 10, maybe like DLC, happens the year after that. Or whatever else they might want to do. Maybe they'll come up with some brand new formula for Pokemon games. And then after that, they have the black and white remakes. Because the issue with black and white as well, and
that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
How the fuck do you remake it? Because you have two games that both serve very specific purposes.
And they're not the same game.
They're not the same game. Which one do you remake? How do you remake it? It's very hard to approach that because, what way do you even approach it? How do you even remake it?
It's not even like you can just tag on, the additional parts of the region.
No, you can't.
Right?
That's the problem.
You can't just tag on the story. It's a completely different story.
Here's the crazy thing.
Characters.
The crazy thing is they can do this instead of them remaking Black and White or Black and White 2, they can just make a Legends game, make it modern, slap the title Black and White 3 on it. Easy way out.
That's true. That's very true. They can do that as well.
And then I also get confused because I'm like, okay, well, if you make a Black and White 3 game, anyone who hasn't played Black and White or Black and White 2 is going to be like, what do you mean? I'm not playing that. I haven't played the first ones. I feel like the name alone.
I know.
Even though
the name would kill it, but they don't even
even though I like the name. I like the name.
They could literally just call it Black and White Reburst or Black and White.
Yeah, that's true. I know, but Black 3, White 3 feels so good.
Like they could always just call it something totally different. 3D, Black and White 3D. Literally.
Yeah, they call it. They call it Black 3. That's actually not bad. Black 3, White 3, but the main title of the game is Ultra Black or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. They can
Mega White. I don't know.
Exactly. They can
Whatever the
literally
heck.
just make up some bullshit names for it. Only skip doing a remake and do another sequel with the original Dragon as the focus. But that's what a Legends game would be, right? Like that's what a Legends game would then be. But I don't know, because that's a can of worms. That one's a can of worms that I don't even know where to start with.
Hey, bro,
Let's talk about the next.
I like this question. Somebody said, "How do you think BDSP lived up to your expectations of Sinnoh remakes?" And this is for all of us, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you guys think?
I'm gonna be honest.
I'll give it a D.
Yeah.
A D?
Yeah. I'll give it.
It's for a diamond.
A
Okay, yeah.
D plus,
A D
extra
plus,
large,
a D plus.
juicy with some mayo on there.
When I was playing it, it was fun. I remember being really excited.
agree,
I was
I agree.
hungry for a new game. I was posting about it on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah,
I was
that's the
really
thing.
excited. But
I was gonna
once
say
I
my
realized-
only. Oh, my bad, you can go.
Dusty, you can go. You can say what you want to say.
Once I realized that there was like really no post game, and once I realized that like it still wasn't compatible with home, and once I realized there's still that 20-minute timer, I'm like, this is stupid.
Oh, dude, the most fun thing that came out of that game, I'm not gonna lie, was all the bugs and glitches.
Yeah,
I still haven't updated mine just because I want to exploit that shit.
No,
What were you gonna say, Cam?
No, I said I played the game with the fear of being soft blocked by like my walking Pokemon and stuff. And another thing is that do you guys realize that once the Switch is done and over with, and once we've like moved on to the next console, and once they discontinue the online service for Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and somebody chooses to play that game down the line, they have no access to the post game because they'll be unable to update it.
Yeah,
but no one's gonna play it back.
Yeah, I know.
You know what is going to be a part
that's
of
a
it?
great point, Cam.
Dude, you know what that game is going to be a part of? It's going to be like 10, 20 years from now, somebody's YouTube video like, I somehow figured out how to transfer Pokemon and play online in BDSP. It's going to literally be part of one of those like YouTube videos that you see recommended.
I've seen that video for Gens 1 and 3 or whatever.
Yeah. Dude, you're going to literally see that as one of those videos like 20, 30 years from now or some shit, dude.
So
I just
ultimately, it's really
wish it was
bad, though, isn't it? It's just
It
like,
is.
man,
Yeah,
they
it is.
did Gen 4 people so dirty with that.
Yeah, I feel so bad
bad.
for Gen 4 fans. Like,
Dude, you really
Legend-
got cucked as a Gen 4, like a Sinnoh fan. You really got cucked because you didn't even
I
get
feel-
like the good one remade. You got like Diamond and Pearl instead of Platinum remade.
Yeah, I feel like their mindset was like, because this is how I kind of see it. I feel like Gens 1, 2, and 3 are so old and so removed, and with Generation 4, it's like we're essentially in the same metagame as Generation 4, because it's like the mechanics all work the same, right? So I feel like their mindset was, this is a Gen 4 game, if like the originals are still playable, right? We're going to remake it, but we're just going to do it really simply. But the thing is, like, holistically, those Gen 4 games are so difficult to play for how slow they are, and like you guys are saying, the Platinum game is the essential Gen 4 game. Platinum or Heart Gold, Soul Silver. So I feel like they were totally disconnected with the fan base and the reality of the generation.
Because
I'm not gonna. My bad. I was gonna say, as cool as Gen 4 is, they like Gen 4 before Gen 3 got announced. I remember when Oraz first launched, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, I can't wait for Gen 4 remakes!" Like, Gen 3 gave us megas, it gave us this cool deep lore and story, and then everybody's like, "I can't wait to see how they're gonna like improve upon that." Because I know Oraz was missing the Battle Frontier, but had the Battle Frontier been there, and had they incorporated walking Pokemon, people would have put Oraz up there with Heart and Gold, Soul Silver. When we got BDSP. When it was announced, when the game was first announced, I was like, okay, this is a different step. But my goal was like, I was just like, okay, if there's like megas in the game, I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
Game was dead a week later, dude. Game was dead a week later. Like literally was dead a week later. Like no.
I'm gonna be real with you. The only reason I played BDSP was because, just like Dusty, I was like deprived of a new Pokemon game to play, because Sword and Shield, I gave it my 2 years to DLC that too. Like, I needed something new to play, and BDSP was.
I feel bad for my friends who bought both copies in the anticipation of playing both, and then they just never got around to playing the second copy.
Yeah,
I feel bad for those people.
I know that feeling. Don't get me. Don't
I
get me
did-
started on that shit.
I didn't get both.
Yeah, I didn't
But,
either. But
I did.
The games are on sale right now for $30 too.
dude, I saw that at Best Buy. That's where I saw it.
But you know what it is? You know what it is? Is like you just mentioned, Cam. It's the biggest issue is like you had Oras, which was actually, in my opinion, I think it was a great remake. I know people bitched about it because no Battle Frontier, but like
I never played Battle Frontier, so it didn't mean
but
much.
like I know people complain about it or whatever, but I'm gonna be honest. Like I fucking loved Oras. Like that was like Oras was when I got back into playing Pokemon again because I was off during like Black and White's release and X and Y's release. I only got Black 2 somewhere in the middle of all of that jumble, and I played that like on and off, but I never really got like deep into it as I was like when I was younger. But specifically with what do you call it? With Oras is when I returned, and I remember I loved it. I fucking remember getting hyped up when the trailers were coming out and shit. I remember like making videos on that back then. Yes, I even made fucking news videos back in like 20.
Oras Hype Cycle was crazy.
Dude, that shit was lit, man. That game was actually great. I think it had a lot of fucking awesome stuff. An interesting
Remember that
addition,
first trailer of Groudon and Kyogre just like screaming?
dude, like the primal reversions, the new megas, the soaring with the fucking like Mega Latios, whatever.
That was awesome.
Dude,
No,
this shit was sick. It was sick.
One of my favorite moments of the hype cycle was like that afternoon. It was like the afternoon. I think it was like either June or July when Koro leaks revealed the Swampert and Sceptile Mega Evolutions along with Blaziken, and we got to see Brendan and May's new designs and stuff. That was like an amazing night because this was back when Koro like it stopped in Gen 8, but like when Koro was leaking and it was like. That was like that hype moment, waking up to it, or it just randomly gets leaked at night. It was like the megas. I remember when Koro leaked. Was not Wallace, Steven with the Metagross Metagross. Like just it was a crazy time to be a Gen 3 fan at that time. Wasted Potential still was like I'll never forgive them for their reasoning for not making Mega Flygon. No.
Oh yeah.
Because their reasoning was that they had like artist block and they just scrapped his design. And you can tell that he was meant to be in the game because there's that character, I can't remember his name, like
he's the secret base guy. And all of the characters, all the important characters had signature Pokemon that had signature Mega forms, and the only one who didn't have that was the secret base guy because he had a Flygon, but he didn't have even the contest lady. She had an Altaria that evolved into Mega Altaria. So
totally. She was Wallace's cousin or something like that. She was like, she had a Mega Altaria. Like he was. You can tell he was meant to have. I'll never forgive that. Like
for real.
Poke Club is asking, what would make BDSP better in your opinion?
Megas.
Yeah, Mega, but no,
just platinum stuff.
Basically. But you know what it is though. Also, even if it did have the platinum stuff, let me be honest. No, it wouldn't have made it better. It wouldn't. No, it still wouldn't have made it better because what made Oras and Soul Silver and fuck it, even Fire and Leaf Green great, is the stuff that wasn't there originally. Okay.
Yeah.
Like Gen 5 plus
of course, something new we needed.
Like Soul Silver. What made Soul Silver interesting? The following Pokemon. The just the added elements, right?
Even little details. Little details like that item that makes it available where you can have the original gold and silver crystal music. That's like a random item, and they actually took the time to put that in the game.
Exactly.
Those are little details that make the game magical. That's the soul.
New stuff is what makes it interesting because here's the realistic truth. If you want to play Diamond and Pearl in its best version, don't play BDSP, go play Platinum. Just go fucking play Platinum.
Yeah, go play Platinum.
But just do that. Because there's no point to play BDSP. Because all it is a 3D version of of Diamond and Pearl. That's all it is. It is not honest, anything more than that.
For me, I'm like, if you're going to make a remake, you got to remake it and make the 3D actually look cool. And you have to make it work with the world. And they didn't do that. Essentially, for me, they made it 3D, but it lost all of the magic and the character that all the sprite-based games do. I actually enjoy playing sprite-based games because they feel like Pokemon games for me. Yep. where all of the new games since Gen 6, 7, 8, they all look the same. And I'm hoping Gen 9 looks different.
yeah.
Like, I hope the models look different.
Also, another feature that Soul Silver and whatnot had, like, was the Battle Frontier. And just there's a bunch of shit. Just off the top of my head, I can't think of stuff, but I just know they had more stuff. And then Oras, same thing there, right? What the addition was the Megas, the Delta episode, just
Soaring.
Like Soaring.
They
Exactly.
added a Safari Zone.
Like,
in
just
Johto.
all that shit. Yeah, there you go. All that extra shit, right? That's what I'm talking about. You regret to mark my words, Ruffled. What the hell, Ruffled?
Didn't they expand on secret bases?
I will be streaming the new game,
Yeah.
of course, whenever it releases. But basically, Oras they do that as well. They made secret bases even bigger. But that's the thing. If you look at BDSP, what did it do? It had the Grand Underground, which was cool, sure.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun.
That was cool.
Look, Grand,
I
totally
won't lie.
overlooked that.
But
Grand
again,
Underground was cool until you go down there and all the wild Pokemon have the catch rates of legendaries.
oh, yeah.
Like they
I don't mind
have
that.
they
I
have
don't know,
lowered catch
but-
rates on purpose.
but like
For me, the problem of the Underground was that they gutted secret bases.
yeah,
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah,
That's
they
the thing.
ruined-
It's like
that's the
Underground
thing.
would have been sick, but you can't customize anything.
Yeah, all you can do is put the fucking statues, and I'm sorry, but it just felt like a grind fest after a while. Like
Yep.
It was just for catching Pokemon that
I think
you
it was just catching
already.
Pokemon and shiny hunting. I feel like that's it
Yeah.
was just
Yeah.
a way to a lock away. It's literally just a way for them to lock away like Pokemon that were not there. That are not meant to be there through a general playthrough, right?
It
Like-
should have been you find items and then you craft new items for your base. Like
Yeah,
you
that
can,
would have
like,
been sick. That
Find
would've been sick.
items and rocks and then build a chair, build a table. Right? You're finding metal.
But, like,
Build whatever.
Imagine if you could have been doing like little mini games with your friends down there, because you could already connect with
Yeah.
other players and shit. But imagine if you could do like, oh hey, like there's like a like don't touch the lava like little mini game you could do, like oh yeah, like you gotta like literally imagine like Fall Guys, the game Fall Guys, but in down there with Pokemon shit. Like that would have been so funny. Like oh yeah, like you have to like step on these blocks, but they will break, or like literally fucking Squid Game that shit. You know what I mean? Like. There's so many mini games they could have made down there to make it more interesting and fun, etc. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's so much they could have done, but they didn't. That's the problem. They didn't. Like they just
it's that replay because
Yep.
I don't know. If I'm gonna play Johto, I'm sorry. If I'm gonna play Sinnoh, it's gonna be Platinum.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna be Legends Arceus.
I don't know. I mean,
It just felt like a filler. It was a filler game. That's what it was. Filler. It didn't.
That's the thing.
Anyways,
just play Legends. Sorry, just play Legends or play Platinum if you want like a Sinnoh experience, because it's not worth it to play BDSP in my opinion. It just isn't worth it. I did like the Romanas Park, but that's really just a PAL park. That's all it really is. It's not.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a PAL park with extra steps. That's it.
Reminisce Park was also a grind fest too, wasn't it? Because you had
Yeah,
to get
exactly.
the stuff.
That's what I'm saying. It's literally PAL park with extra steps, like with more steps than like it's just extra steps. That's all it is. But I don't know. I feel like we've gone through quite a lot. Actually, I think we've pretty much reached the climax of this, or well, we'd already climaxed. My point is, I feel like we've kind of gotten towards the end of the podcast, guys, because we've been running for a long time.
Yeah, it's around 3 hours. I'm down to finish this up. This was so much fun.
It was great.
Definitely.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming through as per usual. And thank you for coming to the first POKEMANIACS podcast, boys.
Yeah,
Let's go. Hey.
Yeah.
we did it.
If you're not already, go sub to the channel because we're
Yes.
gonna have tons of clips.
Yes.
All sorts of other stuff's gonna be over there.
Sub to Camtendo, Dusty Gogoat, as per usual. And of course, go follow SoulSilverArt, my friend, over on Twitter, trying to get our man to 10K followers. So go do that, guys.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. Link to the channel will be just popped in there multiple times. And thank you for watching. We are going to be ending for today, and we'll see you again on Tuesday next week, right, guys?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Sick. All right, lads. Well, we'll see you then. Thank you for the first episode of the POKEMANIACS podcast. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.